Hey there, spooky friends, and welcome to another episode of Pastatime with the Scaryish Podcast.
Woo!
Robin Grace, this is Adam Diaz.
Hello.
And we're here to read you folks some creepypasta from across the web.
Indeed we are. Pretty excited about this. If any of you folks out there, you wonderful listeners and viewers, have suggestions for creepypastas that you would like to hear, or if you have your own creepypasta you would like to send to us, as one of them will be tonight, written by a spooky friend, you can reach out to us by emailing pastatime@scaryish.com, or you can go to our website, scaryish.com, and click on Contact Us, fill out that form. That comes directly to us. I think you actually read this part normally. You can also feel free to hit us up on all social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagrams, those things. So, fun stuff. Robin, are you excited for this episode?
Yeah, I am excited for this episode, so we'll see how it goes.
Cool. So I am going to be going first when it comes to the Pastatimes. I'm going to be reading one that was heavily requested from some of the folks in the Spooky Friends group and also in our Discord. I've also seen this one posted in a lot of people's top 5 list as I'm going through the internet and trying to figure out which ones are going to be my jam, so to speak. So this one is very short, and then my next one will be longer than that. So I'm going to be reading The Portraits, which I've heard good things about, and it goes a little something like this. There was a hunter in the woods who, after a long day hunting, was in the middle of an immense forest. It was getting dark, and having lost his bearings, he decided to head in one direction until he was clear of the increasingly oppressive foliage. After what seemed like hours, he came across a cabin in a small clearing. Realizing how dark it had grown, he decided to see if he could stay there for the night. He approached and found the door ajar. Nobody was inside. The hunter flopped down on the single bed, deciding to explain himself to the owner in the morning. As he looked around first fuck up of the show. As he looked around inside of the cabin, God damn it, I did it again. As he looked around the inside of the cabin, he was surprised to see the walls adorned with several portraits, all painted in incredible detail. Without exception, they appeared to be staring down at him, their features twisted into looks of hatred and malice. Staring back, he grew increasingly uncomfortable. Making a concerted effort to ignore the many hateful faces, he turned to face the wall, and exhausted, he fell into a restless sleep. The next morning, the hunter awoke. He turned, blinking in unexpected sunlight. Looking up, he discovered that the cabin had no portraits, only windows.
That's terrifying.
That's the end of it.
So it's just creepy people, creepy creatures looking in?
Correct.
Wow.
So not much description on what they were, except that they had looks of hatred and malice. So one of those things that kind of lets you picture whatever your own demons would be looking in at you.
Yeah.
So I read that one. I was like, I totally get why people like this one, although I have so many questions.
It's pretty straightforward, pretty creepy. It's like, you think one thing. Oh, no. It's absolutely nothing like simple as a portrait, though a moving portrait would be really creepy.
Yeah, have you seen those videos of people that have like what looks to be like a painting,
like really
but it's
nice
a video
paintings,
board?
Yeah, and then they change into super creepy things.
Yeah, they start like terrifying people. Those are kind of funny, but they always seem really fake. Like there's one of some chick who's like putting like IKEA furniture together, and her boyfriend leaves the room, and he's the one who like planned the prank.
Yeah. And
she gets freaked out, but you can tell she totally knew what was going on. So those are really funny. But that's what reminded me of this. So right on. Good stuff. Good way to start out the show. All right, let's look over in Stream Chat and welcome you, wonderful spooky friends, to Pastatime number 4.
Yep.
Looks like we already have 3 drinks that have been redeemed. 1 by Captain Fake Eye, 1 by IMB Trainer, and 1 by Glitch Grim. I am drinking a snake bite tonight.
I have soju and what is it called?
Calpis
or
again?
Calpico, yeah. If you weren't there for our episode,
Story
like
time.
our topic episode live stream on Sunday, that's what I drank then too.
Was it that, or was it story time where you would drink it?
It was this past Sunday.
Because you were pretty fucking hammered when you drank it.
Yeah, it was this past Sunday.
Okay, good to know.
Yep.
All right, a couple shout-outs that I want to do. Kill a Cupcake 1991, who followed us. It was 3 days ago, so it might have been during the topic episode, but I don't remember reading it, so I figured it wouldn't hurt to do it again. And Incinerate, who followed us 1 day ago. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. And yeah, we have 4 drinks to take before we get to the next one. Here we go. I'm actually really, really thirsty, so I wish I had a glass of water as well.
Look at how much booze is at the bottom of that thing.
This whole thing is booze. What are you talking about? The top part is Guinness. The bottom part is Angry Orchard.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like liquor at the bottom. I was
No.
like, what the fuck?
Shout out to ASB Bunny, who was the first person here. Said morning. They were here at 6:18, 7 minutes before the show started.
Oh, I was going to say that's early in the morning.
Glitch was here. Well, for them, it's morning. Glitch was here at 6:22 and said, "Did I win this time? LOL." And ASB Bunny corrected them and said, "No, you did not." Shout out to I Am Beef Trainer, who is also here. Laura, and it's nice to see you folks trickling in. Vivian over there in YouTube. We're reading your story tonight, Vivian, so be excited. Shout out to Carly, who just resubscribed for the 14th month.
So much
Sent
lipstick.
3 heart emojis along with that message. We appreciate you. We love you.
Thank
You're one of the
you.
OGs. Tiny Dancer Nation, Captain Fake Eye are also here. Hailstorm is also here. So we got lots of wonderful folks. Shout
Aw,
out to
I'm
I Am-
Beef Trainer says their kitty passed yesterday.
So sad.
That's really sad. But hopefully they're not in pain and they're just...
Yeah, heart emoji to you.
Yeah.
That's rough. I can't even imagine dealing with a pet passing. I've done it in my past when I was younger, so it's definitely rough. They're 110% a member of the family, so
Yeah.
our heart goes out to you.
Over on YouTube, hi guys, hope you have a good live tonight. It's late, so I'll watch you tomorrow. Riley. Thank you so much, Riley, for hopping in and just saying hi.
Yeah, we appreciate that. Scrolling a bit more.
Oh,
people-
and yes, this is the new layout. This is the new thing we're doing.
Oh, yeah. We did this for the topic
If you
episode.
didn't watch it on Sunday, this is the new layout. It's much easier for us. We don't have to move a bunch of stuff. It's pretty straightforward. We can kind of just move a couple things on your desk around and do it this way. Plus, you guys get to see our facial expressions a lot easier, I think. So.
Indeed. I think so as well. And I didn't have to put on as much makeup today, so that's a good
Really?
thing. Yeah, just a little bit of cheek makeup. Just a little bit. So, worked out pretty well. Lots of folks offering their condolences to I Am Beef Trainer, which we totally 100% understand. Chunkster is also here. Hello, Chunkster. Thank you for joining us. Vivian says, I'm painting my nails, watching my favorite spooky podcast,
Aw.
and eating gummy bears, and I've never been more content in my life. It's pretty good stuff right there. Won't lie.
Spooky Mom bought Adam a bunch of new gummy bears.
And she got me a bag of Albanese gummy bears, and I was like, oh, thank you so much. I wasn't expecting it at all. So pretty cool. I'm going to scooch this because I actually can't read the side of it. All right, scooched. Good stuff. We had someone from Facebook say, woo! I don't have the Facebook names for certain users, and it's not your fault. It's just a Facebook privacy thing. So
Yeah.
no worries there, but I will try and figure out who it is that sent the message and give you your credit while Robin reads some more of the chat.
Thanks. Thank you, everybody who's saying that my makeup looks good. I think it looks okay.
It looks good.
I can't. You have the mouse, so I can't really
Just tell me you need some
scroll.
scrolling.
I need to scroll. Chunkster says, "Look at the shadow on Robin. So vampiric. Take my blood."
That's hilarious.
You guys are so funny.
It's Kitty Reyes who said, I love your makeup, Robin.
Oh, thank you.
And the woo was also her.
Carly says, having a mixed drink tonight in my I Want to Believe mug, thanks to Robin. Yay! I'm so glad those are already getting to people, because I swear I just took it to the mailbox yesterday.
Yeah, I feel like it was
I
yesterday.
thought I just did it yesterday.
She might have been one of the first rounders, though.
Maybe.
Yeah, 'cause she's already had like 2 rounds of the mug sell.
Yeah. It was crazy because the first batch sold out so fast, and I was like, oh my God. And I had to post more, and now I'm out of materials for it. So I'm waiting on more materials.
You're a batch.
You're a batch.
I'm going to give you
So
the
I
mouse because
think-
you're reading next.
I think there's only 2 more mugs in stock. So if you want to get one, there's only 2 left. Thank you, everybody. Saying my makeup looks good.
Vivian says, question of the week, what's your favorite scent? Mine is the smell that lingers in your clothes and in your hair when you've been around a campfire. That's one of my least favorite scents. Having sat around so many bonfires in my life, I hate smelling like smoke. One of my favorite scents would probably just be that smell that you have when you're fresh out of the shower, if you had like your favorite soap or body wash, where you just smell clean.
My favorite smell is... I don't have a favorite smell. I'm not a big scents.
She's not a big
person.
sniffer. She doesn't smell lots of stuff.
I like the smell of sweets, like a bakery. I like that smell.
I like the smell of bacon in the morning. Like when food wakes you up and it's something that you want to eat, that's always a nice smell too. So
Yay, a few people saying they like the new layout. Yay, that's good. I'm What's Her Name says, gonna have to get me some Scaryish mugs.
shout out to Cursed Wolf, who gifted a 1-month tier 1 sub to Hailstorm.
Thank you so much. Aw, Hailstorm says, nice makeup, Adam.
Thank you.
You look
Appreciate that.
It looks very natural.
Stop.
Cute.
You're skipping over my YouTube people.
Oh, sorry.
Elijah over there says, go get a cup of water. We can't We can wait. Hydrating is important. It is indeed important. Vivian says, I literally have a jacket that I keep in my room that I wore to a socially distanced bonfire like a month ago that still smells like burning wood. The smell of smoke, Vivian. It stays there forever. Don't get rid of it.
Captain Fake Ice is playing D&D right now. Awesome.
Nice.
I What's Nerd says I can hit you off camera. It's true.
It's true.
Yeah, if I wanted to.
And she could hit me on camera. No one's gonna care.
Ceviche says I've switched from YouTube to Twitch. Twitch has a lot more stuff that you can interact with, I think.
Very true.
ASB Benny says literally just got out of the shower. Oh, Carly says it was like 2 days shipping. I was surprised it got here already. Yay! That's awesome.
Good stuff.
Thank you, USPS. Ceviche says my favorite smell is dogs. I'm Beef Turner says sunshine and gummy bears. I like the smell of rain.
Yeah, like when it rains.
Yeah, and it brings up all the grease and oil from the road. Yep, that smells
I like
so
the
good.
smell of freshly cut grass as long as I'm not
Oof,
right
no.
next to it where it makes me sneeze.
Oh, Carly says after rain smell is the best. Yeah. Woo, 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 woo.
So there's a bottle of water in the bedroom that can be grabbed. I'll do it on the commercial break.
All right.
In the meantime, I have 3 more drinks.
I haven't been counting. That's all right. I'm going to say I did 4 already. Maybe 3. I don't even know.
It's all Guinness on the top. I put in a bottle of Angry Orchard and then a bottle of Guinness. And I was just like, yep, that's about right.
I'm doing science over here.
Doing hot girl shit over there.
All right.
When she says she's doing science, she's mixing her drink.
Can I start?
Sure, you're just sitting there silent.
I'm waiting for you. You were in the middle of talking.
No, I was done talking. Look at all that silence on that sample over there.
That's why I was waiting. All right. So I'm going to read my first story that I picked. I was very excited to actually picked my stories last night and not today. So my first story is called The Doors, and it goes, I'm a first-year resident at the local hospital, so I often work long hours and I'm always sleep-deprived. I do make decent money, if not nearly as much as a licensed doctor. Impressive. But on account of student loans, I live in a crappy apartment. The bedroom of this apartment is tiny, and the only spot for my dresser is immediately to the right of the entrance. It's just a bit too long for the space, so the door only opens halfway before it starts pressing against the corner of the dresser, and it makes an awful splintering noise when you've gone too far. This happened often enough my first month here that I've already left some big dimples in the wood. Outside, the bathroom is down the hall on the left and the living room to the right. The hallway is just wide enough for the bedroom door, with a couple of inches leeway on either side for the frame. Why is this important? Well, about 2 weeks ago, the door to my bedroom moved. I'm not sure how else to describe it. I'd just worked my second 30-hour shift in 3 days, and on 4 hours of sleep, I was getting up for another one. When I pulled open the bedroom door, something struck me as off, and it took me a minute to realize what it was. The door had opened completely. I looked to see what had happened, discovering that while my dresser was still flush against both walls, there was an extra inch of space between the dresser and the door. I shrugged, chalked it up to some fluke of the apartment walls, and proceeded down the hall to a shower before heading into work. When I got home 30 hours later, exhausted and desperate for sleep, the door was pushing against the dresser, same as always. Nothing unusual happened for a couple of days, but on Thursday morning I was going out for another long shift when the door opened even wider. It looked like the doorway had shifted even further left, far enough that I could see a half inch of the hallway, sticking out beyond the door frame. So it's like the door and the opening of the door, and then you can see the wall.
Right, like where the door actually is shifting slowly.
Yeah. It was as though the contractor had miscalculated when he built the place, slightly displacing the doorway from the hall. An inch more, and I'd have been able to see insulation and wiring. I stared at that sliver of drywall for a few minutes, dumbfounded, while my mind tried to come up with some rational explanations. The building was old, settling, and this was just the result of natural wall tensions easing. Fudge! I'm saying it right too. It's just a weird word. This disjunction had been there this whole time, and I'd been too busy or too tired to notice. I'd slept through an earthquake during which my room got displaced a couple of inches from the hall. Fuck.
That's my favorite Dr. Seuss book, by the way.
From the wall. Wait, Fuck. Shit, I don't know. Anyway.
To the window, to the wall.
Till the sweat drips down my balls.
Correct.
During which my room got displaced a couple of inches from the hall. All of the explanations seemed plausible. With work coming up in half an hour, I really just wanted to get some coffee and get out of there, so I decided to call the super after I got off. However, when I got home the next morning, the door was back to normal, and I was tired enough to not even care. Everything was ordinary the next day, too. Then on Saturday, I was headed to the hospital again, when I found that although my door only opened halfway, grinding against the dresser as usual, the hallway itself...
Dresser.
I know.
Did she Sean
I was trying to get past it. The hallway itself had shifted a good foot. The entire wall and then some was clearly visible. To the left of the wall, where I should have been looking into my bathroom, there was this black inch-wide gap. The light from my room only went a couple of inches into that shadowy space, but I could see a floor that looked to be made of concrete, smooth, featureless, and gray. Just like my soul. This musty smell emanated from inside, like from an old, dry basement, or maybe an attic that had been left untouched for too long. My first instinct was to just close the door. Clearly, this was a hallucination brought on by working too many hours with too little sleep. But the doorknob clattered against solid drywall. My door wouldn't close. Confused and more than a little disturbed, I initially thought to just leave. Get the hell out of there, worry about the details later. The need for a rational explanation, however, coupled with a morbid sense of curiosity, kept me from bolting out the front door. I called out of work for the first time in almost a year, saying that a pipe had burst in my apartment and that I needed to let the repairman in to fix it. Next, I called the super and asked him to come by. Then, while waiting for him to arrive, I shined a flashlight into that sliver of space. No! Why?
Why not? You don't have the morbid curiosity, or you would want to see into this?
Nope. Not even a little. I'd have been out of there. Fuck that. There wasn't much to see. The area ended at a cinder block wall, roughly where my hallway turned, and although I was blocked from seeing how far the room extended to the left, I got the impression that it was big, maybe bigger than my entire apartment. Even if I was wrong, though, the fact remained that there was a strange space where my bathroom was clearly supposed to be. I even looked to be sure. Everything looked perfectly ordinary from my bathroom. You leaned forward. I didn't know if you were going to say something.
I was going to say, it reminds me of that video that someone posted in the Spooky Friends
where
group.
They found the thing behind their mirror.
An entire unit behind their mirror. Yeah, that's super... And it wasn't just like a little sliver in the drywall. It was a full hole behind their mirror that led to an entire unit.
It's just like Candyman.
Yeah, it's super creepy.
I'm not saying it 2 more times. Anyway.
You're not saying it into a mirror, so except I am seeing you over here. So maybe not.
Okay.
Just to be safe.
The super arrived less than...
Candyman. Okay, that's 2 for me, 1 for you. Okay, keep going.
The super arrived less than half an hour later, but in the time it took for me to answer the door and escort him back to my room, everything had gone back to normal. As you can imagine, I got pretty agitated, even frantic. However, when the super saw how upset I was, he actually asked me outright whether or not the walls seemed to be moving on their own. All right. While I gaped at him, he explained that the previous tenant, a young woman who had also worked at the hospital,
interesting,
had complained to him about something similar. She had claimed that the wall sometimes extended an inch or more past the frame of the doorway, but whenever he came to investigate, nothing was out of the ordinary. The young woman eventually became hysterical, on the verge of moving out, but at his suggestion took a leave of absence from the hospital instead. After that, there'd been no more complaints. She stayed until her lease was up and then left without incident. The super gave me a sympathetic look after he told me this story and asked whether I had been working particularly long hours recently or perhaps also felt trapped by my work schedule.
That's kind of, I don't know, that's just half-ass investigating by this super here.
Yeah. I mean, What could I say to that? I agreed with him, informed him that I would be taking a break from work as well, and apologized for wasting his time. The super was cool about it, since I guess he had experience with this sort of thing, and even said that he was glad to help, that the hospitals work us residents too hard. After he left, I called work to let them know I'd be out tomorrow as well, and then decided to turn in early to make up for lost sleep. It was nearly midnight when I awakened. I'd been dreaming about something. I don't remember what it was, but it must have been a nightmare because I woke up with this sense of utter dread washing over me. It was like when you're alone in the early hours of the morning, silence hanging over your room like a sheet, and out of nowhere you get the feeling that someone is in the room with you. I never get that feeling, so I don't know.
I mean, I've gotten that feeling, but it's not like, oh yeah, how you wake up in the middle of the night and feel that all the time.
Yeah.
Nah, dog.
So you get this feeling that someone's in the room with you, standing behind you, watching you. That was the feeling I had upon waking up in the stillness of my bedroom at midnight. And then I heard the scratching.
I looked over to your screen and I saw that one line and I was like, oh shit, it's going to escalate.
It was faint at first, so faint that I thought I was imagining it, but gradually it grew in volume until it was clearly audible from across the room. Something was scratching at my bedroom door. That itself shouldn't have been so alarming. I'd had mouse troubles at the apartment before. I'd even heard them scratching at the walls at odd hours of the night. After the events of the previous days, however, the sound jolted me awake, that sense of dread deepening into real fear. I slowly got out of bed and tiptoed toward my door. Up close, the sound was unmistakable. The scratching was coming from the bottom of the other side. Mouse or not, I reached over and quietly as I could locked the door. Then I grabbed the flashlight from the top of my dresser, got onto my hands and knees, and shined it through the half-inch space underneath the door. That is some Signs stuff. It's an alien. Don't look.
Well, I mean, he does manage to cut off its fingers, though. Spoilers for Signs. It's like 20 years old, but he doesn't take the worst of it in that exchange, so maybe they're going to be okay.
We'll see. The scratching stopped almost immediately. Then something reached in through the bottom of the door. I was so startled that for a minute I didn't even realize what it was, and then it felt like someone had punched me in the gut. 3 fingertips curled against the bottom of my door frame, wriggling slightly as though trying to push the door open. The fingers were gray and skeletally The fingers were gray and skeletally thin, stained the rusty brown any medical student could tell was dried blood. Their nails were long and ragged, clearly broken numerous times, with the splitting and pitting characteristics of malnutrition. And then I heard something else coming from just outside, carried on that musty, dry basement smell. Help me. The voice was so soft as if to be barely audible, but it was clearly a woman, and I could hear panic running through it, quiet sobs underneath the words, and then I could hear something else, a sound like soft footsteps approaching from somewhere far away, and all the while the voice continued, whispering, never growing any louder but getting more urgent, more rapid. Help me, please. Please, please help me. It's coming. Please help me. Please help me. Please help me. Please, it's coming. It's coming. Please, 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 please. And then the fingers vanished, as though whomever they belonged to had been violently jerked away. I could hear the sound of something being dragged along the ground, something scraping frantically against the concrete, but that noise quickly faded into the distance.
Jesus Christ, dude.
And then I heard the soft sound of footsteps approaching again. It stopped outside my door, and for a while there was only silence. Then, as I watched by trembling light of my flashlight, the lock slowly began to turn. Somehow, it was being unlocked from the other side. I jumped up and slammed my shoulder against the door, dropping my flashlight.
Dropping my flashlight.
Hot. Dropping my flashlight in my haste and scrambled to lock the door again. Something resisted my frenzied attempts to turn that little dial, and my fingers were so sweaty that they kept slipping off. I believe that 100%. Before I finished turning the lock, the knob twisted in my grip, and whatever was back there hit the door hard enough that the whole thing shuddered. Raw terror flooded my system, and I pushed back as hard as I could. My body leaned almost parallel to the ground, even as I continued fumbling with the lock. Whatever it was hit the door again, harder this time, such that it actually opened for a split second. Oh, fuck. I was almost sobbing at this point, but my bare feet found purchase on the linoleum floor, and I shoved back with all my strength, somehow slamming the door back closed. At the same time, my fingers were finally able to wrap themselves around the lock and turn it. Using the time that bought me, I ran to my dresser and dragged it in front of the door, then sat down with my back against it. The pounding continued, even more strongly than before, but with my dresser in the way, the door stayed closed. After a few minutes, it simply stopped, and there was another minute or two of silence before the soft sound of footsteps finally moved away.
Call the police, man.
Yeah, call the freaking police! Still, I continued sitting in front of the dresser, back braced against it, too terrified to even think of opening the door or heading back to bed.
Or calling the police.
The only window in my bedroom was too small to climb through, and I'd left my phone on the kitchen counter. Fuck. There was nothing to do but sit and wait, which I did until the grayish light coming through my window announced the arrival of morning. It took me a while to finally muster the courage to push the dresser aside, and even then I just stood there for a few minutes staring at the doorknob. In the end, the need to know overcame the fear of the unknown. No!
Okay, at this point, that's just a foolish decision. Just scream until someone helps you, for God's sake.
And I pulled the door open just a crack. My hallway sat outside, same as always, with no sign that anything was unusual. Even the other side of the door was pristine, with no evidence that any violence had been directed toward it during the evening. With the door halfway open, pressing against the dresser as usual, I slipped outside the bedroom and into the hallway, heart pounding even though I was already doubting my own mind. Could it all have been just a nightmare? Had I suffered a psychotic episode in the middle of the night, terrified of nothing more than a mouse scratching at my bedroom door? Did I spend the entire night camped out in front of my dresser on account of a hallucination? As I stood there, doubting, I let my bedroom door close behind me and my nostrils filled with that dusty basement smell. I ran. I took off into the hallway, practically clawing against the wall as I dashed for the living room and tore the front door open. When I got there, just before I launched myself outside, I heard the splintering noise of my bedroom door pressing against the back corner of my dresser. Oh man, it's been over a week. I haven't gone back, not for my things, my clothes, nothing. I'm crashing on a friend's living room couch instead. He brings me takeout when he comes home from work. I extended my leave of absence from the hospital, citing a death in the family. I tried finding the woman that used to live in my apartment, the previous tenant that had also complained about the moving walls, but her address forwarding had long since expired. Searching for her by name turned up no results. Not on any social networking site, nor search engine, nor people finder. The super didn't know any of her friends or family. I even checked the FBI's missing persons page with no luck. I hope she's out there somewhere, merely beyond my ability to find. But I have nightmares every night, ones in which those emaciated fingers and that soft pleading voice reach out to me from a dark, endless space. Still, I insist that every door in the apartment stays open, because the last time I opened the front door, there was a tiny cross-section of wall exposed as though the doorway had been displaced a half-inch from its usual spot. So even at this other apartment, it happened.
This thing is after her. That's super terrifying. And, oh, God, it just reminds me of that. I always talk about this Japanese legend about the crevices. So this thing lives in any crack, and so any crack, it just comes out and gets you. It's terrifying, dude.
But credit to Dispater, who's the one that wrote this story, I guess.
Excellent, yeah. I can understand why that one's well-renowned.
Yeah.
It's really, really, really good. That's just super terrifying, too. So, yeah. Enjoy your nightmares, folks.
Yeah, that was... Thanks. All
right, let's look over into Stream Chat and see what you wonderful folks had to say during that one. Pretty fucking good. Definitely blew mine out of the water. We had some stuff. People were still talking about their favorite smells. Cinnamon and apples is what Natty Natty says. Scrolling a little bit, someone said, "Ooh, so pretty, Robin." Let's go ahead and find out who that was. Click, clack.
Patty whack.
It was Carrie over there in Facebook. Minimize.
Vet Tech says puppy breath smell is the favorite smell.
Aw.
A lot of people like vanilla. Hailstorm says warm vanilla. I think that's a really popular smell.
Vin says, "Oh my God, yes, and the smell after a lightning storm because a bunch of nitrogen is released into the air."
Oh, I didn't know that. Chunkster says, something about petrichor. What is that? I don't know. Something from Doctor Who. I don't know what happened before in that conversation, so I just don't know.
Chunkster says, "Aw, Adam looking at Robin."
What is the feeling on clean sheets? Yeah, that's the best.
I don't recall how that felt.
You liked it. You're like, this is great. What? Yeah.
I was Tony the Tiger, apparently. This is great.
Carly says, you yourself are in, not just you, yourself are in silk sheets, but if you were the silk, if that makes sense. Oh yeah, it's like everything just slides right off of you. It's great. Vivian says that moment when your door moves, yeah, fuck that. That story is just terrifying because it's like both the feeling of a home invasion, but a supernatural home invasion, and then you have someone saying, help me on the other side.
That's the worst part of that whole story, is that you like, are you being tricked, or are you leaving someone out there to die?
Laura Ann says, shave one day, prickly the next day. That's not fair. Just wax. Last much longer. When Adam did his waxing and shaving legs comparison, he much preferred how long waxing lasted.
Yeah. It's not as bad if you have someone doing it who's not deliberately trying to inflict pain upon you, like Robin was to me. But, yeah. Vivian says, I have this lamp that is power activated, so you have to physically touch it to turn it on. And my overhead light burnt out the other day, and immediately my touch lamp turned on. It was across the room. That is creepy. There's a lot of things that can activate those touch lamps, though. When I was a kid, we used to have a bunch of different stuff where we'd see if we put it on the touch lamp and we touched whatever the object was, would it activate? And there was a bunch of stuff that it would do it for. We also had these lamps that we would have one person grab and then see how many people we could form a chain of. We would call it electricity. And you touch their hand and you'd see if it would turn on.
Thank you so much, Ghost Dunk, for subscribing for 21 months.
He said, can't wait for the makeout sesh.
Wow.
Are
you making out with it?
In our group text today, we were talking about when our first and second shots are going to be with our D&D group. And one of the people said, oh my God, I can't wait to make out with one of the other people. And I said, my second shot is April 21st. I also can't wait to make out with that person. So it's good stuff.
Nice. Our lamp, I know, gets activated all the time by static electricity. It used to freak me out, and then we're like, wait, if you bring this blanket close to it.
Yeah, it always would happen when we turn on all the lights and start to go to sleep. Robin would grab the blanket and pull it over her head, and when the blanket would brush the light bulb, it would flicker.
It doesn't even brush the light bulb. It just has to get near it.
If it brushes the light bulb, though, it's like, la 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 la, which is what it sounds like.
Nice. I'm just like, what? Hailstorm says, I want to get laser hair removal. Me too.
Same.
That shit is expensive. If I had money, I would. Carly says, my armpits have a constant 5 o'clock shadow. Same though. Scroll. Oh, 52DZ says, that describes my fingers. What the fuck?
That's gross. Cursed Wolf says Silent Hill. This was giving them Silent Hill vibes.
Everybody says, I love how this community is so comfortable with each other that we share our body hair situations.
I mean, I put mine on Facebook, so.
Yeah, or on YouTube.
Oh, that's right, YouTube.
If you want to watch Adam shave his legs, it's on YouTube.
Shaved one leg, I had the other leg waxed. Glitch put in a sticker that said no emphatically when this whole thing was going down in the story.
Vivian says, random question, but what the fuck is up with helium? Where do you get it? I don't know if it occurs in nature, but if it does, where?
It does occur in nature. I'm not sure where. I don't know where to get it, except you can go to like a party store and get a giant canister of it to fill balloons with. Shout out to Cursed Wolf, who gifted another sub to MQI.
Thank you so much. Vivian says, who is the jackass who found some hole in the ground, put their mouth on it, inhaled, and went, my voice sounds funny. Lol. Oh, because of helium.
Yeah, I think what wound up happening is they discovered helium, and eventually when they had to breathe some of it in, they're like, oh, look, this fucks up my throat.
Oh, man. There's an episode of, is it The Rookie or is it 911? I think it's 911. The helium is like broken or something. Like it's just one of the helium canisters is broken on a call. And so they walk in there to help all the clowns and stuff that are there. And his voice just is that
starts
helium
squeaking.
voice. And everyone's laughing at him for having the helium voice. And he's like, you guys better come here and fucking help me.
Did I remember there was this party that we had? I think it was like my brother's birthday party when I was younger. I was probably like 10 or 11. And we had balloons that actually had helium in them. And we like had a few that we were still like keeping around to see how long they would float up in the ceiling. And eventually like they all just started to compress and started to float down. And this balloon must have been in the living room for like 2 weeks. And I found it. I was like, oh, I should see if this makes my voice sound funny. And it did, but it also gave me this ridiculous head rush where I thought I was going to fucking puke. And I was like, okay, never doing that again.
Let's see. Talking about microblading. I have wanted to do that because look at my eyebrows. I don't have any eyebrows.
I like your eyebrows.
I hate my eyebrows. They're just like, they're one, very, very, very thin and very, very wide. So it's like a wide area of nothing. Just like hair here, hair here.
I think they're subtle, but I think they're nice.
But I don't draw them. I'm like, no. I've tried and it just doesn't look right. Unless someone wants to teach me how to draw on eyebrows, I just can't. I can't. I just look like an alien right now. I just have this.
I think you look fine.
Thanks. Let's see.
Maya over there on YouTube says, hello. Hello.
Hello.
Gil6 on YouTube says, hey, y'all. What up, Gil6? Thank you for joining us. New baby smell is good, says Chunkster. I know a lot of people who love new baby smell.
Yeah, that's true. Captain Fake Eye says, my tattoos have never faded, but they are also mostly covered. Oh, because someone was saying, like, tattoos fade. So, like, if you got microbladed, they'd fade eventually.
Right.
I have a bunch of tattoos, and there are some I wish would fucking fade. There's some that I'm like, just suck it into the bloodstream so it's not there anymore. But they last quite a long time.
They do indeed.
Adam's, he's had a tattoo since he was 16, and it looks like crap.
I never see it. It's on my back. Gil6 says, I want you all to have mutant power so bad. Same here. Hailstorm says, why are you smelling babies? It's just something where newborns have a very specific scent to them. And I've heard mothers talk about it a lot, especially when they have their second or third kid, where they're like, oh my God, I forgot what this smell is. And there's actually an episode of Modern Family where God, I always forget his name. Al Bundy's character has a brand new kid and he leaves it to be babysat by his daughter. So technically it's his like 40-year-old daughter babysitting her brother who's like a month old. And like she's loving every second of it and she keeps smelling him. He's like, what are you doing? And she's like, they only smell like this for so long. And he like turns to leave and she has like the baby and she's like rubbing it like against her face. Like, yeah, that's the good stuff. Wow. So it's definitely a known thing.
Gil says, I've known y'all for years in my head.
We were talking the other day about how much of our lives we put out there on the internet. So
yeah, and we
totally
definitely put a lot of personal stuff out there on the internet. Let's see. Chunkster says, I have a 7-month-old at my sister's. I've seen pictures. They're so freaking cute.
Vivian says, did y'all ever do that game where one person would slide down a slide and get all staticky and touch a chain of people and shock what travels through you? Yeah,
no,
I totally
I've
remember
never
doing
done
that on the playground.
People did that?
Oh, yeah, like everyone would hold hands and you'd see how many people you could electrocute from your static. Maya says, eating dinner and watching you guys.
Aw, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Captain Fake Eye says, I feel Robin and I have similar eyebrows, probably. It's them Asian eyebrows. My mom has tattooed on eyebrows, not even microbladed. They're just straight up thick ass lines. Let's see. I'm Beef Turner says, I'm guessing that despite my Asian heritage, I have the European eyebrows going on. Lucky. Carly says, can't confirm that new baby smell is basically a drug. That's what makes you guys want to have more kids, right? JK, LOL.
I've heard literally people say like, oh my God, new baby smell, let's have another kid.
Chunkster says, what are your skin types? Oily, dry, or normal? My dad's going to Korea, and I was thinking of getting you both some skincare products. I'm currently in love with the brand Innisfree.
Robin will write you a list.
Oh my God, my skin's dry.
Same. My skin is also dry.
So anything for dry skin is amazing. And anything for like blackheads, because our blackheads are nuts right now.
Mine especially.
Would be great. And I've never actually used Innisfree. I've heard of it, and I know it's really, really popular, but I've never actually
I heard it's free.
Used it. Fuck you. Oh, Hailstorm says I don't like children.
It's okay. You're not required to like children. No one is.
Chunkster says, babies are easy to love. Older children are more difficult. I love my niece. She's like 7, and she's really cute, but sometimes they can be brats.
I love all my nieces and nephews.
Do you have more than 1? 2?
I have 2.
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Carly says, I think maybe it's just a thing for like their own kids or something. LOL, I have a 9-year-old and a 5-year-old, twins, and definitely don't want any more, but damn, if that new baby smell doesn't make me have real dumb thoughts. LOL. That is hilarious. All right, we're going to pause it right there. We're kind of caught up right now, and I'm going to go ahead and run the ad over there on the Twitchertons.
Okay, I'm going to grab a snacky.
Can you grab that bottle of water that's on my side of the bed? Why do you have to say it so grumpy? We're not on, everyone's seeing this right now. We're not on commercial. She just knocked my hand sanitizer down. She's a very petty person. All right, we're running the ad over there on Twitch. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, you won't see that ad. Although if you're watching on YouTube, pre-recorded, you probably already saw an ad, so fun stuff in the sun. All right, I'm going to minimize this window just a bit and see what's going on over here. So, again, thank you to everyone who came out and watched us record the live topic episode on Sunday. That was actually really fun. We were slightly nervous about how we wanted to handle it, and that is how we came up... Damn it, this isn't the right one. And that's how we came up with this exact setup. I'll probably do something to this, like, divider right here. This divider is actually a line from a different picture entirely. It's a border frame for, like, a webcam. And I just made it really long so that it would actually be long enough to split the screen. I'd like to have something a little bit cooler than that that flows into the spider webs at the bottom.
Want some?
Not really.
Okay.
Thank you, though. All right. I'm just really thirsty.
It's like pound cake.
All right. No one can hear what you're saying. This is you saying it's a pound cake.
Oh, it's pound cake. It's good.
It's a pound cake.
Vivian said, I inherited oily skin from my mom, who is 54 and looks 40, so that's one advantage. My mom is super oily, and she's always so shiny. But her two kids have the driest skin.
Well, what's your dad's skin like? I changed my mind.
Dry.
So you got your dad's skin.
I look like my mom, but have everything from my dad. My sister looks like my dad and has everything from my stuff from my mom.
It's kind of ironic because I'm pretty sure my face is very oily, which is why I get like blackheads a lot quicker, and I also have more stuff that oozes out of my nose when we do the extraction thing, which is incredibly painful.
Ooh, can I do that to you tonight?
Sure. But my hands and my elbows, they are dry. Like my hands during the wintertime or during like really hot, really dry summers out here will start to chap and crack. Like I've had it happen before where I've like clenched a fist and had my knuckles all crack and start bleeding out here. So it's hard to fucking tell. I'm What Turner says ASMR. Chunkster says so good. MQR says I heard her with chewing. Good to know. I look at this from a perspective of a producer, of someone who's like going to be editing the show later. So when I see the audio samples over here and I can see like, oh, we're running about normal. And then I have like our decibel level cranked up to a point where I can delete out the background noise and it's audible. And then all of a sudden we're going to have something that drops out entirely. I'm like, this isn't going to sound good in post, but I'm glad to know that you guys can hear us during the mumble moments. Especially this new setup also has a different microphone setup. It's the same microphones, but we're just arranged in a different spot. And it's just a little weird.
Hello, Chrissy.
What up, Chrissy? Thank you for joining us. That's my cousin, y'all. She's basically my sister. I love you, Chrissy. Everyone say happy birthday to Chris. Her birthday was the 27th.
Oh, happy birthday.
Shout out to Terry, V-A-S-U-T. What do you think? Terry Vasut?
Sure.
Shout out to Terry Vasut for following us over there on Twitch. We appreciate you. All right, we're going to be moving.
Lizzie B says, where is this conversation happening? Twitch. Duh. Oh, everyone's saying happy birthday. Chrissy, you can't see it because you're not on Twitch, but everyone's saying happy birthday.
There's like 10 happy birthdays coming your way. Oh my God.
Captain Fake Guy says, my skin is also dry. Radio Man says, good evening, Robin and Adam. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Chrissy.
We have a drink redeemed by Carly. Thank you very much, Carly. I was getting a little bit thirsty over here.
Sorry, I'm kind of hungry.
Chunkster says, today is also my boyfriend and I's 2nd year anniversary. Congratulations. 2 years
happy
is quite
anniversary.
a long time.
Everyone's saying happy birthday. Too bad Chrissy can't see it. I'm sure you could see it later, maybe. I don't know.
Glitch just redeemed another drink as well.
Oh, that's the last one.
That is the last one. That's 6 for the show. And I only went through half of my drink. Not even that. Not even close. Carly says also, my skin is oily half the year and dry half the year. It's a shame you can't mix those together and have perfect skin. All right. My ear is ringing, which means someone's talking about me. In Robin's culture, it means someone's talking shit, which I'd never heard until I met her.
And then my family, when he talks to my family and asks them, like, what does this mean? And they're all like, it's because someone's talking shit.
Except for any of the people who married into the family who are all like, it means someone's talking about you. And then everyone that's actually blood relative to Robin is like, I mean, someone's talking shit about you. And I'm like, it's definitely a culture thing. Like 100%. 100. All right. Since Robin's having her cake and eating it too, and drinking her brand new official cryptid keeper mug that her and her sister created.
My sister and I designed this the other night. I think it's cute. I'm going to make it into a pin, but this is the mug we made. This is just the tester one, so it kind of looks wonky, but
a little bit basic, bitch. But yeah, good stuff. I'm going to go ahead and move into my second one. So let me go ahead and mark it so I can have
Carly says it's them talking shit about you too, bruh.
I just think that's a negative perspective. Like, I talk good about people when they're not around. So if their ears ring because of that, that's why. And I don't want them to think someone's talking shit. Also, our cameras have ring lights on them. And I'm just going to put mine on and see what that looks like. So let's check it out. And I can have it be like soft or very bright. I think I kind of like that better, actually. Although it kind of seems like there's a little bit of a lens flare going on over there.
Lizzie B says...
Yeah, there is.
Where?
On the camera.
Oh. I don't think it looks bad. I think it looks good.
Try yours.
How do you do it?
Just twist it. The ring on the outside.
Real good.
Counterclockwise or clockwise.
Clockwise. Oh, hey, look at that. Looks the same.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, but Lizzie B says, anyhow, just thought I'd say I've been listening to you guys for a little over 2 years. You guys make a good team. Yay!
Thank you.
Glad you think so. Glad you guys are on Facebook Live now. Thank you. I'm
Us
glad
too.
you guys like it too. It's different and we're very happy. And it's thanks to everybody for donating and stuff like that we can afford to get the software that we need to stream to all the services at the same time.
Yep.
So
if we go over...
Vivian says maybe everyone's just talking shit about Robin's family.
That's funny. Hailstorm says, that makes me sad because my ears ring all the time. I hope people aren't talking crap about me. It's just when they're talking about you. It's just you're assuming what they're saying. Robin's putting crumbs all over the floor by my desk. Now that I can actually keep my desk mat on here and not have to take all my stuff off the desk, I was like, sweet. Hopefully my desk won't get super gross, and hopefully my desk mat won't get messy. And clearly my worst fears are being realized right this moment. So Ismar over there in Facebook says, hi, Adam and Robin. Hello. Thank you for joining us. It's awesome we get to see Facebook people popping in, and we're actually seeing your names. Facebook has this thing where you can grant permission to something so your name will be shared, but if you don't explicitly give it permission, it's just going to say Facebook user for your protection, and that's because, Facebook and everyone got upset like, oh my God, why are you stealing my data? All right, I'm going to go ahead and mark it, and I'm going to get into my second creepypasta of the show. So, bloop, marked. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get into my second creepypasta of the show. This one came from spooky friend Vivian. It was the first one that was ever sent to us, which was originally written for the show. So thank you so much for sending it. Its subject is Creepypasta for Pastatime, What Happened on the Mountain. So I have not read this per se. I've skimmed it to make sure there's nothing incredibly inappropriate in here. It looks to be all good.
No nudes?
Didn't see any nudes, thank God. And I did not see anything that was like over the top with any sort of content that I thought would need a trigger warning, basically, is what I was searching for. So let's go ahead and jump into it. What happened on the mountain? Only I know. They called it an accident. After all, that's what I told them, but I know better. I know that they aren't prepared to hear the truth, and if I told them, I'd end up in the nut house.
Okay. I'm just, expecting people to go missing in the mountains because they see something, you know what I mean? Like they went hiking or something?
Yeah, we're about to find out. So I write to you now before I disappear. I can't hold it in any longer, and they can't get me if they don't know me. So here it is. The story of what really happened on the mountain. In 2014, me and 3 friends went up to the mountain. I wonder what mountain it is. We planned to go.
It's a big story.
We planned to go for 2 days. Details, babe. Details. Devil's in the details. We planned to go for 2 days. Me, my best friend David, his brother Evan, and Evan's girlfriend Molly all drove up together in Evan's minivan. We packed light. I was never a fan of the wilderness. Too much cold. God damn it. Boop. Too much could go wrong. So much danger. Bears, moose, coyotes, wolves, cougars, and mountain lions. All for what? To take a shit in the woods? No thanks. It's funny to look back and think that bears and moose were my biggest problems. Not to mention what I thought were the scariest things that could be lurking in those woods, because as much as the police will try to convince you otherwise, it wasn't a bear, and it wasn't a wolf, and it wasn't a coyote, and it sure as hell wasn't human either. Trust me, I did my research. There is not, nor has there ever been, a beast in our area as big as what I saw that night that can move that fast. And that shriek. To this day, I'm still not sure if the yowl came from the creature or Molly.
That's
poor
creepy.
Molly.
Oh, no, I'm just thinking of the rat from Solar Opposites.
I know, when I saw Molly, I thought of the rat from Solar Opposites too. The wall. They really need to make a wall series. Okay, we're going to keep moving. Anyways, we reach a point on the trail where we have to park the van and walk the rest of the way. After hiking for about an hour, we find a nice-sized clearing perfect for our tents. We set up our 2 tents and sleeping bags. Me and David in one tent, Evan and Molly in the other. Evan and David go off to collect some firewood, and me and Molly start to make a stone circle. The stone circle is almost complete when the boys come back with some logs and kindle for a soon-to-be campfire to feed on. The fire is up and going just in time for the sun to set. We do all the basic cheesy camping bullshit like roasting s'mores and telling creepy stories. And Molly was in the middle of her entrancing story about a cannibal who ate babies when we heard a blood-curdling scream. Our eyes darted towards the direction it came from, but we saw nothing. David and Evan stood up, grabbed their flashlights, looked at me and Molly and said, "Stay here. We're going to check out what made that noise."
Don't split up.
Pretty sure I'd be like, "We're getting in the car and leaving." And
I
are
can't
about
stand when they split up.
and are about to head into the darkness when I realize what idiots they're being. What in the goddamn fuck do you think you're doing? Have you never seen a horror movie, or did you hit your head when you were little? Because splitting up when something creepy happens is the fastest way to get us all killed, I exclaimed in disbelief. Divide and conquer. We can cover more ground this way, Evan tries to explain. Bullshit. We're stronger as a group, Molly declares. Besides, we don't know what's waiting for us in these woods.
Molly, the only one with a brain.
Well, it's Molly and the narrator, who has not given their name. In fact, we shouldn't be going at all. It was hard to ignore how much sense and reason was in these cold, hard facts she was spitting. Molly, someone could be hurt. They may need our help. You can't just expect me to leave them there, Evan reasoned, like the person in the last story who left the person out in the hallway. Which is all the more reason we should be going with you, I concluded, and of course they let us come. Maybe it was the fact that Molly controlled Evan's sex life, or maybe they realized that if something bad were to happen, we would be the voices of sanity, but either way, they caved, and we grabbed our flashlights, we grabbed heavy sticks, and walked towards the noise we heard. We walked in a straight line so we wouldn't lose our way. As we walked, we called out to see if anyone needed help. We stayed close together, not only so not... fuck!
Not. Nickelodeon.
Shut up. I hate you so much. I like it better with the ring lights on. I think you look way better. Like your skin just glows this way. All right, anyways. Not only so no one would get lost, but also for warmth. Aside from the crunch of our footsteps on dead leaves and twigs, the thousands of crickets rubbing their legs together like I do on my sheets when I have freshly shaved legs, and of course our calls out into the empty darkness, it was quiet. But every once in a while I thought I heard something jumping from tree to tree following us from the branches above. It would have to be small, you know, for it to be like, did I hear that? Because even the predator made noise. Something
what did the
big.
predator sound like?
I mean, it sounded very noisy when it jumped from tree to tree because it shakes the tree. Something big, and I can't do the clicking sound when it's like...
We tried.
Something big. I figured it was just my imagination. After all, I was the only one who seemed to notice. Sorry, I'm just like, every Predator meme and catchphrase just ran through my brain. I'm like, these people need to get to the chopper. We walked for maybe 5 minutes before deciding that it was pointless and cold. That it was pointless and cold to keep walking towards nothing. Thankfully, we found our site just as the fire was turning to embers and decided to call it a night. Me and David talked as we tried to fall asleep. He fell asleep after about 10 minutes from us saying goodnight. I, however, was less fortunate. I tossed and turned and tossed some more before deciding that sleep was for the weak. I stared up at the tent ceiling, just barely able to see the stars through the fabric. I zoned out into this thin veil of what I guess you could call sleep, slipping in and out of consciousness, where minutes go by in seconds and you're not sure if you're actually ever falling asleep. This soon turned into a strange paralysis after the darkness in the tent and the barely visible stars turned into a shadow that raced across the top of my tent without a sound. I couldn't move, I couldn't breathe, I couldn't blink, and I couldn't do anything to stop the tears from rolling down the side of my face as the shadow morphed into a solid figure. It moved out of my line of sight but remained in my limited peripheral as I saw the figure move towards the direction of Molly and Evan's tent. From what I could make out, the beast was tall. I hate your computer. Her computer just comes on with a ding for no reason randomly. From what I could make out, the beast was tall with sharp horns on each side of its head and its body was adorned with big hawk-like wings. A sound of fabric being ripped and a shriek like I've never heard before.
Oh, it's getting them.
I didn't want to know what happened next, so I looked back to the ceiling, and then I could move again. I let out a quiet gasp, and even though I could move again, I didn't want to. I probably stayed as still as a statue for about 20 minutes before I was sure the beast was gone.
I'd be afraid to move if
I
that
would
were
too.
me, like, big old nope.
I sat up and almost passed out from what I saw next to me. David, or what was left of him, was in pieces, laying in a pool of his own blood, missing an ear. Stifling back tears and a scream, I climbed through the large hole ripped in the tent door and didn't even need to scream. I can't fuck that up. Mark it. And didn't even need to open Evan and Molly's tent to see that they had met the same fate as David.
Oh my god.
Quiet as a mouse and as scared as one too, I gathered the items I could salvage from the destruction of our campsite and I left. I'd be in that car and fucking
Yeah, I
gone.
wouldn't even. Why? What is there to scavenge? Grab your phone, grab your purse, leave, or bag.
I mean, if you
Backpack.
hate the woods that much, what reason is there to scavenge anything in that moment and just get the fuck out? Barefoot, scared, alone in the woods, leaving behind 3 dead bodies. I remembered the minivan and thought I could try and find it and escape into civilization that way, but god damn it. It's nothing wrong with the writing, I'm just fucking it up. And escape into civilization that way, but the thought struck that Evan had the keys, and I didn't really want to search my dead friend's corpse to steal his car. As terrifying as the dark woods are with your friends, they are 100 times scarier on your own, especially when you are running from something. I jumped at every twig I heard snap, every owl hoot, and I swear I could hear a second set of footsteps behind my own. Everything is so much louder at night, or maybe the sounds of all of the things that aren't you are just amplified.
I mean, you did just see your friends get murdered. Everything probably is like you got adrenaline pumping.
Everything is amplified,
you can just hear everything, yeah.
Maybe my imagination was just fucking with me, but I knew in the back of my head that I need to run when I heard the dull thud of something large fall, or land, I should say, from the trees above, right behind me. And so I did. I ran and ran until my body gave up and I collapsed on a nearby tree. The sun was just barely peeking out from above the horizon in a golden sliver as the sky got brighter, and I curled up into a ball and cried. Something killed my friends, and for some reason it spared me, but maybe after it realized its mistake, it decided to hunt me down. Why couldn't I have just died with the rest of them? The sun finally rose up fully above the horizon, and the sky got blue. I sat up and felt sick, like really sick. And sure enough, I threw up the s'mores from last night and the dinner we got on the way up here and the lunch I ate before we started the drive and a human ear.
No.
Wait, that wasn't on the
Were
menu.
you the bad guy
I
all
continued to
along?
vomit up more body parts such as a nose, a couple fingers, and what looked to be part of a tongue. I eventually started dry heaving and had to calm myself down and just remind myself that I have to breathe to keep living. What happened last night? Whose body parts are these, and why were they in my stomach?
You ate your friends.
Avi. To be honest, I still don't have the answers to these questions. In fact, parts of the rest of the story are a bit blurry, but what I'm assuming happened is I continued walking until I found the main road and hitchhiked into town. From there, I called the police and told them an altered version of what happened, something along the lines of, we were camping, I got up to pee, a bear found our camp, killed my friends, and left by the time I got back. I came back, panicked, and ran. I was a young girl in my early 20s, and as they had nothing to prove otherwise, they moved on, minimal questions asked. We held funerals, and I was in the news for quite some time, being the only survivor of the, quote, wild animal attack that killed 3 people and left me completely unharmed, but over time, after one too many no comments, they found other more interesting cases and moved on. I moved away, trying to escape the nightmares and questions and weird looks from just about everyone. People I knew and strangers. I couldn't stand the pity and suspicion from people that can't even begin to comprehend what actually transpired. So just like that night, I ran. I tried to live my life normally. I got a house, a girlfriend, a stable job. I've made a life for myself. But now I'm back. I told my girlfriend I was going home for a few days, and now I'm back. The memories of that night have haunted me for too long, and my questions will no longer be left unanswered. So I'm back, and going back to this godforsaken mountain for the truth. The truth of what really happened on the mountain.
No. Why would you go back? Why?
This is triggering a lot of stuff in Robin right now, which is so funny
It's
to
just
see.
why? Why go back? Just live your life. Yeah, you had everything, nice set up. It was
They're
good.
Clearly the monster.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
100%. They're gonna go back. This is the second installment where they accidentally kill a bunch of camp counselors this time.
Ah.
So yeah. It's good stuff. Thank you for sending that in, Vivian. I very much enjoyed it. What I'm going to be doing this weekend, I don't think we have anything crazy going on. I'm going to be updating the website where I'm going to have a spot for folks to have their own stories live, kind of like our own little creepypasta corner, so to speak. And once that's updated, yours will be up there first as one that we actually read on the show. And then when I update the site to get fully up to date for the Pastatime episodes, I will link to all the stories that we read, and this one will direct to that page for you. So thank you one more time for sending that in. We sincerely appreciate it. All right, let's mark it. Look over in the stream chat and see what you wonderful folks had to say. I'm going to scroll up to see where we stepped.
Scrolling.
I see asterisk and it says humped.
It's because I'm assuming it says the last time I came into money is because I hummed an ATM. It's humped an ATM.
Came into money, gross. I get it.
Oh, ew! I didn't even realize that.
How'd you not realize that?
Damn! No.
Eve over there on Facebook says, "Ho guys, what up? Thank you for joining us."
Hello. Let's see. No, you missed some. Scroll back up.
I remember this coming through. We read Hi, Adam and Robin.
I'm Beef Train says, seeing Robin snacking, I'm gonna send some baked goods soon. I was planning on baking it this past weekend to get sent out by Easter, but Kitty was priority.
We understand. And thank you so much.
Totally understand, yeah. We're so thankful for any time you guys send us anything.
We really are. Oh, we bought frames for our posters.
For our posters. So we're going to actually be hanging up our I Want to Believe poster and
Vigo the Carpathian.
Yeah. So thank you, Glitch, for those posters.
I thought about editing it and painting on a kitten because he has Carpathian kitten loss because he misses his kitten, which is a joke from Ghostbusters 2 before Robin asks because she looks dumbfounded right now with that joke. She doesn't know at all.
I don't know. I know nothing. Jon Snow. About the story, Glitch says hashtag buy Ashley. It's like, don't do it. Just say it as a group. What the F? MQI says, I'm watching Raya and trying to watch this too. It's pretty difficult. Mom life. I want to watch Raya. I hear it's really, really good. I think a lot of people that I follow on social media appreciate that it's like a darker skinned Asian because people expect you to have light skin in Asian countries, but it's like having representation. It's really cool.
Yeah, I watched Moana like 2 days ago. I watched Aladdin because that was the movie that I felt had representation for me growing up.
There's like trigger warnings and stuff in front of these movies now.
Yeah, I was just like, I was never triggered by this. I actually felt like I had a brown Disney prince to look up to when I was a kid and that came out, and then I was like, and now I want to watch Moana because I love both of those movies so much.
People are talking about waiting until it's free on Disney Plus. Same. We saw that it was like $50 or something, and we're
I think it's 30. I think they charge you 30 for it.
I'm not paying more money.
All I know is we have Godzilla vs. Kong to watch. No spoilers. I'll kick you out of this community forever, I swear to God, because the stupid HBO Max
watch it on HBO
would
last
not
night.
Fucking work last night. So annoying.
And it would like skip. Every minute it would stop and then go. And stop and go and stop and go. It was so annoying. It was impossible to watch. I'm out of booze in my cup. I'm just drinking that Calpico now.
It's funny. All right. MQI says we watched it 3 times now. It was kind of worth it for us. That totally makes sense. Once there says Disney owns 36% of the world and they still want more. I think that number might be a bit low. I always want to call these ones out, but I know they've already been deleted. But it's like those spam things like, want to be famous? Buy followers, blah, 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 blah.
I don't understand what the point of buying followers is.
It puts you higher up on the list. Like if someone were to browse, this is why people do it. Let's say we're playing a video game. Or let's say we want it to be the #1 talk show on Twitch, you know? You buy followers because they'll be basically watching you at the time when you go live. It's like they have computer farms, essentially, that boost up your viewer numbers. And that way, if someone's like, oh, I wonder what like the #1 talk show is right now, and they click talk shows, yours will be right there. So people will pay for a specific amount of time so that they have more viewers than someone else, even though there's no one really watching them. So that they're like the first one people see or in the top 10 that people will see. So more people will discover their shit versus if you only have like 5 or 6 people watching you where they'd have to scroll past like hundreds of other people to be discovered on Twitch. So that's typically why. Who the fuck has money for that though?
People are talking about spam because there was a typo and then spam came up and now people are talking about wanting spam. I love spam musubis. You want me to make those for dinner tonight? I
sure.
can do that. That's easy. Just rice and spam.
Sure, I'm down. I'll eat like 10.
Yeah, I was gonna say I want like 20 of them right now. Lots of people are saying they hate Spam. Laura Ann's never had Spam.
Just has to be prepared in a very specific way.
Yeah, I fry it up and then put it on the rice.
MQI says, ew, Spam, I can't with the texture. You just gotta fry it. If you fry it, it's not bad, and then you can do more stuff with it. Natty says, werewolves. I thought werewolf too.
I could see that.
It reminded me of American Werewolf in Paris, sort of a little bit. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie where he wakes up and he realizes he's naked and he's covered in blood. And I think he has like an arm that he's sleeping on in that movie, and he's like, oh, what the hell happened to me last night?
Chunkster says, Spam is really good in Korean army stew. Is Korean army stew budae-jjigae? Or is it... No, I think that's what it is. That's the Korean army stew. Or is it jjimyeon? I don't remember which one it is.
I don't either.
Our friends that I absolutely love, twins, came out here and made it for us for dinner one night.
It was really
good.
Was
so good.
I was really sick at the time too, and it just hit the spot.
God.
So it was like this just warm meal to warm my belly and my soul.
Yeah. Oh man, it was so good. I cannot wait to make it again. And
it is shocking how few times I've gotten sick in the past year since I quit working in an office building. So
yeah,
just people are disgusting and they spread their germs everywhere.
A lot of people are saying they hate Spam. It's disgusting.
Try Spam Masubi's, you'll change your mind.
5-2DZ says, is the camera lens zoomed in or is the camera just uncomfortably close to your face? For you, it is kind of close to your face.
I mean, I'm leaning forward. I mean, it's pretty much framed the exact same for both of us. It's just about how close we are.
It's because we have to be close to the microphone, so they're going to be kind of close.
And I can zoom it out, but I honestly felt like this was the best framing for it. So
okay.
You frame to the shoulders. If you frame too far out and you see like the gap between the arm and the wall, like that's not what you're going for. So
cool. Burp. Let's see. Captain Fake Eye says, still haven't played Among Us, even though I've watched it. Lizzie B says, my daughter is watching Rhea right now, so I can listen on here. Oh, yay!
Nice.
It was $29.95, but worth it if it keeps the baby occupied so I can clean.
Vivian says, the story was inspired by your topic episode on the Wendigo, and I was actually listening to the pod while writing it. I tried to make the narrator be as reliable and smart as possible, but after thinking you saw your friends get murdered and or killing and eating them yourself, you'd act irrational too. I think
pretty cool.
The most unreliable part of it was them not looking for the keys.
Oh, they said relatable.
Oh, relatable? Sorry, reliable and unreliable narrators are a thing, so I think my brain just converted it like that. But yeah, dude, like if my friend was murdered, I'd be horrified, but I would still look for those keys if I knew it was the only way I could get out of the woods.
Chunk just said, I still gotta watch a Zack Snyder Justice League, but it's 4 hours long.
It's a very long movie.
They also came out with Justice is Gray, like the gray version of that. So dumb. My lord.
Yeah, someone sat down and analyzed it, and 10% of Zack Snyder's Justice League is slow motion, which amounts to like 24 minutes, which is just way too much. Captain Fake Guy says, the entire movie will be 3 hours without any slow motion. It certainly feels that way. Lizzie B says, I have never been on Twitch, but I might go check it out.
Ooh, ooh. Yeah, there's a lot of conversation that goes on Twitch a lot. Chunkster says, Korean Army stew all the way. I fucking love that stuff. So good. Natty Natty?
I'd say Natty Natty. They said it was right last time.
Oh, Natty Natty. Okay. I like the whole paralysis is a war between the conscious mind and subconscious monster.
Yeah.
Jekyll Hyde. Jekyll Hyde.
Alicia over there on Facebook says, hi, thank you for joining us, Alicia. Thank you for always posting to our Snapchat group also. We see them. I typically don't have anything to say, so I don't want to just be like, hi, everyone. But sometimes I'll like make comments. But I definitely check all the chat that's going in there.
Some of the stuff is just so cute. And all the...
Your new dog, Indiana, is adorable.
Indy. Oh, man, such a good name for a dog. Indiana Bones.
Indiana Bones? What's that from?
It's a dog, Indiana Bones.
It's their dog?
I would name my dog Indiana Bones because it's digs for bones, choose bones.
Gotcha.
Indiana Bones.
ESP Bunny sent some lettering that I don't recognize. It appears
it's probably the Korean word for
army stew.
Army stew. Yeah, it is budae-jjigae. Nailed it. I learned something.
Good work. 52D says Red Letter Media covered Justice League. It was great. I totally have to check that out. I fucking love Red Letter Media.
52DZ says, I haven't got sick in over a year because I'm stewing my own germs and no one else's.
Seriously, dude.
Smart.
Like, I've got like sleepy a little bit. I got a little bit of a runny nose from like allergies, but I haven't like gone to work, come back, been like, so-and-so had a cold today. I better not get a cold. And then 2 days later have a cold.
Yeah, their name is Indiana Bones.
Okay. That's what I asked you. I said, was it their dog's name or the name that you would name a dog?
Laura Ann says, now I want to try Spam. It's good. It's stuff.
Look for recipes on Spam. Spam fried rice is very good. Spam musubis are very good.
It's just salty meat.
I mean, if you're just going to grab Spam and eat it, it's like eating a little bit more of a condensed version, like a harder version of the inside of a hot dog. That's what I compare it to. It's not like that.
Says, haven't had it in 20 years. MQI says, fuck, there's a Snapchat too? I'm going to feel like a stalker. I follow you on so many platforms.
I think it's just like a Snapchat.
Yeah, it's a Snapchat group. Everybody posts their Snapchat.
It's like a group chat.
In the Discord, and then there's a small little group. I think the max is like 30 people or something.
I think we might have already hit it.
Well, people have left too, the group.
Right on.
So I don't know, but I haven't kept up with adding people. It's been the same group since when we first started it.
Tiny Intonation says Spam omelets are good too. I like to dice up Spam and have them be like little tiny cubes and a lot of stuff I put them in, except Spam musubis.
5DC says, I need to Google Spam ingredients. I'm afraid.
Ceviche says, I tried it for the first time like 3 weeks ago. I thought it would be good on a sandwich with lettuce. I don't think I'll ever do that.
No.
That's a hard pass for me on that one, dog.
Ceviche says, eating Aldi brand Takis. I love spicy stuff. All right, I'm going to start reading my next story here.
Okay, I'm going to drag the chat out of your way this time. No. Will I do that? I'm just going to leave it right there. I'll just scooch it a little bit.
Why? It didn't bother me the first time. I don't know why you're worried.
All right, fine. Never mind. Jeez. Hang on. There you go. Mic is passed. Dropped it.
All right. Okay, so this is the final story of the episode?
Indeed it is.
Yes, so this is the final story. It's called The Portal in the Woods. It goes, Dad, you said you'd play catch with me. I yelled as my... blah, blah. Hold on.
There's a lot
Let
of
me
dialogue
rewind.
in this one, by the way. When I was getting this put onto a document for read, I was like, holy shit. We should have like several people read this.
Okay. Dad, you said you'd play catch with me, I yelled as my father walked past me to his office where he spent most of his days when he wasn't at work. Sorry, bud, I gotta get these documents done for tomorrow's big meeting. We'll do it another day, okay? I frowned. That was the same excuse he always gave me, and the same follow-up he always had. We'll do it another day. Yeah, sure we will, I thought. The longer I stood in front of his door, the more upset I became. I eventually huffed and puffed enough to the point where I stormed out of the house. I left for my go-to place when I was upset, the treehouse. To which so many T's altogether. Treehouse 12, 2. To a 12-year-old kid, a treehouse was the perfect place for a kid to just get away from his problems and be a kid. It was Reese's and my place to go when we were sad, mad, or just bored out of our minds. It was our little getaway when things went awry in our lives. Little kids don't know the word awry. We also went there just to hang out. It was our spot. We had found the treehouse one day when looking through the woods for buried treasure. We didn't find any treasure, but we did stumble upon the treehouse. We climbed up the ladder and viewed the place from inside. Reese called it a dump, but I saw the potential in it. I fixed her up, grabbing fold-up chairs, a rug, and a blanket to cover the only window in the wooden box to create the coolest treehouse ever. We kept our comic books, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and other miscellaneous knickknacks up there, because fuck yeah, you gotta make space for your goddamn Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Now that I got to the...
That's what you get for ad-libbing. Stick to the script.
What? I would have replaced it with Pokemon, but okay. Now that I got the treehouse out of the way, let me explain to you who Reese is. Reese is my best friend. He moved in next door when I was in the 2nd grade. We went over their house and introduced ourselves. I went into Reese's room and saw that he had a Nintendo 64. Nice. We sat down and played Super Smash Bros. All day, and that first visit became a sleepover, which we spent staying up late playing video games till our eyes became sore and then some. Reese was a good kid. Sure, he'd get into trouble occasionally, like the one time he fed his sister's goldfish to the cat. What the?
Wow.
But he was overall a good kid. I don't think good kids feed their goldfishes to the cat. He'd get into trouble for sneaking out, and he constantly was a wise ass to teachers. But again, he was a good kid. And most importantly, he was my best friend. My only friend. That day, Reese was on the last day of his grounding. He was caught sneaking out at night. I was supposed to sneak out as well, but I got cold feet and stayed in bed. I'm sure he's like, fuck you, kid. I feel like if your friend gets in trouble for doing something you were also supposed to do, it's like...
You traitor.
Right? Reese went to the treehouse alone, and when he realized I wasn't there, returned home where his parents caught him trying to sneak back in. Reese would always tease me, clucking and calling me a chicken when I did stuff like this. I was sure that once he got loose from the confines of his room, he'd be all up in my ear about it. I entered the woods and was making my way to the treehouse. I was about 3/4 of the way there, swinging a stick I found a while back, pretending it was Excalibur. It was a black hole, the size of a bowling ball, levitating at eye level a few feet away from me. It looked like someone took a picture and hole punched it, leaving a black spot in its place. I approached it curiously. I tried to go around it to get a side view of the thing, but it disappeared. I walked behind where it would have been, and it reappeared. The hole was paper thin and couldn't be seen from its sides. I looked at it intensely, trying to see anything inside. I looked down at Excalibur and lifted it upwards. I slowly inserted the stick into the black hole. Suddenly, like a vacuum, the hole absorbed the stick, forcing me to let go. I fell backwards on my rear end, kicking my legs out and skittering back in a feeble attempt to create distance between the black hole and me. I breathed heavily as I stared at the hole in astonishment. Then the stick spat back out and fell at my feet. So, I'm assuming it looks kind of like one of those cartoon black holes that you just stick anywhere, you know, like in a...
You can like peel it off the wall and
like
put it
the
somewhere
Roger
else.
Rabbit. Have you ever seen that?
Yep.
Yeah, just like that. I was frozen in place for a good minute. I didn't know what to do. Then I had an idea. I ran over to a tree and grabbed an acorn off the ground. I went up to the hole and chucked the acorn in. I waited a minute, then the acorn came out, whizzing past my head. Whoa, I said. That's when I had another idea. I went home and grabbed the football from my bedroom, just in case my dad decided he wanted to play catch with me. I brought it to the black hole, got into throwing distance, stretched my arm backwards, winding up the shot, and then threw. Of course, I missed the hole completely. I ran and grabbed the ball, got closer to the hole, and threw it underhand. This time, it went in. A minute passed, and then the ball popped right back out and bounced a few times before it rolled up close to me. I smiled and prepared another throw. I got into the stance, stretched my arm backwards, and chucked it as hard as I could. This time, the ball went in, no problem. A minute went by and I just stood in front of the hole. The ball suddenly came out fast, spiraling and hitting me dead in the stomach. I fell to my knees in shock and pain. I wasn't expecting it to come out that hard. That's when I realized that it all depended on the strength of my throw.
You can catch a wrench, you can catch a ball.
Oh my God. If I throw it weakly, the hole would toss it back with the same momentum. Throw it hard and it comes back hard. I played catch with the black hole for a good hour, then made my way home. I couldn't wait to show Reese. The next day arrived. It was Sunday, so after Reese got back from church, I was ready to show my friends the coolest thing ever. When my friend got back home, I quickly ran over to his house and asked his parents if he could hang out. They said of course, and we went to the treehouse. Dude, I have something amazing to show you, I said, hyped for my friend to see my cool find. Yeah, sure you do, he responded. We walked about 3/4 of the way and started to approach where I'd seen the black hole. That's when Reese spotted it. Whoa, what the hell is that thing? It's a portal, I eagerly said. We looked at it for a good minute and then made our way closer. Throw this into it, I said, in a creepy way, apparently, unable to hold back the excitement in my voice. I handed him the football and he brought his arm back and threw it in on his first try. I was a little envious, but I had to remember that Reese played baseball, so his aim was going to be better than mine. Now what? He asked. Just wait. A minute went by, even though it felt like an eternity, and the ball finally popped back out and landed on the ground in front of Reese. Reese didn't say anything for a moment, then knelt and picked up the football. He scrutinized it carefully, looking for any scruffs or nicks on the ball. That was pretty amazing, he said. Oh, wait, hold on.
I like that you're doing voices right now. You're straight up voice acting. Because you read the next line, you're like, oop, got to take that one again.
Well, because he said it tells how he reads it. That was pretty amazing, he said in a monotone. I smiled, grabbed the ball back from him, and threw it into the hole once again. We played for a good 30 minutes. At first, Reese wanted to know how many things could go through the hole. He threw rocks, acorns, and even a worm into the hole.
Ew.
Wormhole. Get it?
Wow.
All came out just like they had before. Then we took turns tossing the football into it.
Pause. How long until they decide one of them's going through this fucking hole?
I don't know.
They tried it on a living thing already. That would be where my head would go because I'm stupid. I'd be like, I wonder if I could go through and see what's on the other side.
What's on the other side? Reese finally asked. I don't know. Space stuff? What if there's like a whole nother dimension on the other side of it? Maybe there's an alternate version of us. I tossed the football into the portal again and waited for its reemergence.
Write a note on the football.
Yeah, I guess it's possible. Aren't you at all curious what's on the other side? I thought for a moment. Yeah, I guess I am a little curious. Well, what? I asked, confused. Stick your head through the portal.
Knew it.
No way, I said, backing up as if to say no with my body. Come on, don't be a chicken like you were the other night. That's fucking peer pressure, and no one needs that in their life. Cut it out.
She's Michelle Tanner now.
There it was, the chicken comment. I knew it was coming. I don't care what you said. I'm not doing it. I said, not letting peer pressure get the best of me. You go. Every time he pressured me into doing something, we always ended up in trouble. That's when he began to cluck, bending his arms into his torso to resemble chicken wings. Chicken, 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 he chanted. Kids are awful, dude.
They are.
Look, I'm not doing it. You don't know what could be on the other side. What if there's a monster or something? Come on, man, it's just a portal. Don't you want to know who's been tossing the ball back through it?
Just a portal, something mankind's never explored before in their entire civilization.
I didn't think about that aspect of it. I guess there could have been someone on the other side catching the ball and then tossing it back to us, but I still didn't budge in my decision. Pussy, he finally shouted. Also, don't call people that. Rude. Which hit hard. He'd never called me that before. I didn't even know what the word was in his vocabulary. I knew the word too, but I'd never dare say it. He began to walk toward the portal, and I shouted to him, "What are you doing, Reese?" "I am going to look through the portal." I quickly followed him, trying to explain that it was a bad idea, but he wasn't having any of it.
Stick your arm through with your cell phone on record, then get your video and pull your arm back through. That way you only lose an arm and not a head and a cell phone.
You can't pull it back through if he chops your arm off.
That's why I just said you'd only lose an arm and your cell phone.
Look, you can't be a chicken your whole life. You gotta take chances sometimes. Plus, I want to know who or what's been on the receiving end of our passes, don't you? I guess, but I don't think it's safe to just poke your head into things you don't understand. He bent forward to stick his head into the hole. He hesitated at first, but maybe to take in what he was about to do, then plunged his head into the hole. A few long seconds passed by and nothing happened. He just stood there, arms limp at his sides, looking through the hole. I looked around nervously, like we were doing a bad deed, and I was on watch. Then everything happened at once. Reese fell backwards, hitting the ground hard. I stood right behind him and was hit by something warm and wet, as if someone sprayed me with a super soaker with hot water. I looked down at the ground. He was missing his head. His neck leaked copious amounts of blood all over the place. That's when I realized that I was covered in blood. I screamed a scream only a kid could make. Then something flew out of the portal and I instinctively caught it as it slammed into my chest. I looked down at the thing in my hands and screamed again. It was Reese's head.
You can catch a head, you can catch a ball.
It was Reese's head. His face was twisted in horror like he'd just seen a ghost. His tongue lolled to the side and his eyes were glazed over, a white milky film covering his barely visible pupils. Memories started flooding into my head. Thoughts of the times Reese and I would play hooky from school, the times we'd sneak out and would tell scary stories to each other in the treehouse, trying to make the other piss his pants. All the fond memories I've ever had of Reese came together all at once and were shattered with one new horrifying mental scar. My hands began to tremble and I dropped Reese's head to the dirt and ran away. I kept running till I made it home. I opened the door and slammed it right behind me, then ran to the restroom to wipe Reese's blood from my face. I spent a half an hour scrubbing Reese's blood from my face and another scrubbing the blood off my clothes.
You run and you find an adult and you say something got Reese. You don't destroy the evidence because they're going to think somehow you did this.
I walked out of the restroom and ran up the stairs to my bedroom. I got into bed even though it was only 6 o'clock and laid there mortified. My eyes were wide open, looking straight at the ceiling, staring into space. The image of Reese's body dropping to the ground and his head landing in my arms kept playing over and over in my head. Then, after hyperventilating for a good 10 minutes, I fell asleep. My dad woke me up. I opened my eyes and thought to myself, that was one weird-ass dream. But my father knocked me out of that when he asked if I knew where Reese was. Apparently he didn't come home and his parents thought that maybe he was over here. They filed a missing persons report the next day, thinking that maybe Reese had run away. After a few days went by, the police decided to do a search of the woods. They spread out and found his decapitated body on the woodland floor. Local news played the story everywhere. They were looking for his killer and asking if anybody had any information. They should call the They were looking for his killer and asking if anybody had any information and that they should call the local police department. I picked up the phone a few times, mostly to clear my conscience, which...
Conscience is a weird word to read.
I picked up the phone a few times, mostly to clear my conscience, which was eating me alive, but I didn't because I decided, fuck. But I didn't because I knew no one would believe me. Who would? Hey, my friend stuck his head through a portal and it bit his head off. Yeah, I'm sure that would be taken seriously. After all this time, one question remains with me, though. What did my friend see on the other side of that portal? Obviously a monster that chomped his fucking head off.
Okay, so before I jump into...
Or what if it's a sword that just was like, shink?
My thoughts, credit to Nicholas Gray, who wrote this one. It's excellent. My thing with this is how it ends. I think it's great. Start to finish, I think it's fantastic. But the way it ends, they find the body. Where did the portal go? Is the portal still there? Did they discover the portal? Like, why is the portal suddenly something that is just completely missing from this story?
Well, it wasn't there the whole time before. That was the first time he had ever seen it, and he makes that walk to the treehouse all the time.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, did it disappear, or did they discover the portal with the body and didn't mention it? You know, because then if someone calls in and says, my friend's head got taken off by a portal, you know that person was there, because you know they discovered this random crazy portal that I'm sure the government would have a tent around, or something like that. But yeah, really fucking good. I would guess... behind that portal was a guillotine. They're just convincing people to put their head through it. So as soon as you put your head through it, it just chopped your head off. There's just so many more things you could have done without sticking your head through. But it's a kid. Kids are dumb. And yeah, it didn't work out. I think that one kid was smart for just not getting peer pressured into doing something absolutely batshit crazy. You're absolutely right about that, Robin.
Yeah.
No thoughts?
No, I don't know. I just think... it's definitely some type of creature. Like it has to be some type of alien creature on the other side. You know what I mean? What else
Does
could
it have to be alien? It couldn't just be like some crazy person on the other side of the world.
I just imagine
that developed portal technology.
True. It just seems like something an alien would do. Black holes, you know.
But how would they know to throw the ball back? How would they not think that ball was some sort of grenade that was being thrown in?
Good point.
Or seed. It would look like a big seed almost, but either way, solid story, good stuff, good way to end the show. Good pick, Robin.
Thanks. Mine were very long.
They were good. Oh, fuck, it's already 8. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and mark it. We're going to read some of this chat. I was reading some of it that came through. Lots of people talking about Spam and pork in particular. I will say I'm a fan of certain pork products. Pork tenderloin, especially Parmesan encrusted, is one of my favorite dishes, especially when cooked really well. Also, I will say that I love bacon, but I don't like ham in particular. In fact, if I was just going to eat a sandwich and ham was on it, I'd probably pass because I think ham is a supplemental lunch meat or cold cut, depending on where you're from. And I'm also not a fan of like ham that you would make for Christmas. I do like scallop potatoes that has like cut up ham and cheese in it, which is really good. But it's almost like ham can never stand on its own for me. I just want to toss it out there because I saw a lot of people talking about it. So,
yeah, all the ingredients that go into it.
Also, Hailstorm is a wonderful part of our community. I'm very happy that they have chosen to follow us. They also said they don't like the taste of bacon, which I think is just it's the craziest thing we've said all night.
My sister doesn't like bacon.
Now, your sister says bacon tastes different because she had COVID-19 and certain things taste different. That is different than just not liking bacon outright, which is lunacy, but hey, to each their own.
Chunkster said, I made carne asada the other day and it turned out decent. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what carne asada is. I only know carne asada.
Carne asada.
Yeah. Lots of folks saying they don't eat pork.
MQI says, please do the creepypasta I sent you guys. We will eventually. 52DZ says, spam stands for spiced ham. Huh.
Didn't know that.
It's not even spicy. What?
It's just spiced. It doesn't mean it's spicy.
Oh. Okay. Let's see.
Oh,
Ceviche says Gabe minimally eats pork because he thinks pigs are super smart and feels bad. Oh.
Lots of animals are super smart. Cows are super smart. Cows are absolutely adorable. So are sheep, lamb, all those things.
5GDZ says, I just think it's a nasty animal. That's understandable. I still eat bacon, though. I'm not big on pork chops and stuff, but I love bacon.
I'm the same way.
I don't like ham either, though.
I don't like ham.
I just don't. I'm not a big... But I eat ground pork. I'm going to say that. Asians eat a lot of ground pork. Like all the recipes my mom does, it's all ground pork. We don't do ground beef in anything. Talk about bacon preferences. Do you like yours crispy or kind of chewy?
I like it crispy with a little bit of chewiness in the middle so I can fold it over if I want to.
I just like it straight up crisp.
It's a very specific way. I'm going to move some of your...
Zizi says, I'm learning so much about spam. This is a spam stream now. God. I
don't know if I'll need my phone because I believe I can actually have a new setup for marbles.
Spam is bad for dogs. It can cause pancreatitis. That is good to know. I did not know that. Don't give the dog
spam. Robin gives the dog stuff because she has an internal list of stuff that's good and bad for them. So I'm always curious because I don't know.
You can't give them grapes, chocolate.
Well, obviously, everyone knows the chocolate thing. They can't eat the rind on the watermelon?
Yeah, they can't. They can eat watermelon. They can't eat the rind or the seeds. Try not to give them seeds either. All right. Actually, Faison says, whoa, new camera angle. Sup, guys? Sup?
What's up? Thanks for joining us.
Carly says, my ex-roommate spent most of his life in Hawaii and just told me that when I asked why every time he cooked spam was always part of the meal. Still don't get it, but it was always delicious when we made dinner. Yeah, in Hawaii, I don't know why it's such a big deal, but like spam used to be so good. And spam fried rice is a big thing over there. Just spam in general. Lots of spam. Spam's a fan.
Keep in mind, I will need that mouse to do marbles.
Oh, okay. I guess you can do this. 52DZ says, I'm moving into Vienna sausages. Legit, when I was younger, I would eat Vienna sausages out of the fucking can. When I was like a little kid, like elementary school kid, we would just crack one open and just pluck them out.
I have never, ever enjoyed Vienna sausages.
Now that I'm older, I'm like, ugh, they're so bad. They're so bad. But when you're a kid, you're like, everything tastes good. I'm
going to do a quick scroll down to get an idea. Okay, I'm just going to move this, in fact. Because I can, and I will. Oh my god, there's so much chat.
Yeah.
Good god.
I don't know. Are you setting up marbles, or?
No. Lizzie T over there in Facebook says, ham! Which is hilarious. You don't want to read any more of this?
I don't know. You have the mouse now, so.
That doesn't mean you can't read stuff.
Let's see. If someone named Gladys comes out of the portal, run and don't eat the cake. It's a lie.
That's funny.
GLaDOS. I'm trying to think of the song that she sings.
There's a song. Never played Portal. Tried to play it. I tried to play Portal 2 with you, and you got motion sick in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, if you beat Portal, I think the credits, there's a song that she sings about being I'm still alive or something. Still alive.
Dinner says you dropped his head. Rude.
Oh god, I know.
That's a good joke.
Let's see.
52D says they are going to have a good time going back
it's
to
just
these
so
messages.
so much meat information. And there's nothing wrong with meat information.
The more you know.
5TZ says, Vienna sausages are made of pork and beef. They're canned in chicken broth, which is why you'll find kind of gelatinous fluid. That makes sense.
Hailstorm says, my brother eats mustard with pancakes.
That sounds gross.
Lots of people calling him a monster. That is more monstrous than not eating bacon, I will say.
I'm Beef Train says, my dad does peanut butter and pickle sandwiches with butter and bananas. Fucking gross.
I've heard peanut butter and pickles before. I think it sounds gross. Never tried it.
Carly says, have quite a few cans of Vienna sausage in the house right now. Sorry, that's a burp.
I was like, if they heard you say that one thing earlier, they definitely heard that burp. MQI says, LOL, my dad used to eat at this restaurant every day back in the day. Fast, though, because he was working. They pranked him one day and put a piece of cardboard in his burger, and he ate like a quarter of it before they had to stop him. Speaking of eating anything, that is gross, and I would beat someone's ass. I'd be so upset.
My God.
He's probably doing it so quick so he can get back to work because he's working so hard, and they're like, let's make him eat cardboard. Or I'd make them sit down and eat the cardboard in front of me. As much as I ate, they would have to eat equally as much. Lots of Vienna sausage talk. The water is not the most pleasant smell, says Carly. I would 100% agree with that assessment. 52DZ says, COVID-19 is the great reset of our taste senses. All right, scrolling. Hailstorm says, Adam, I have had a piece of bacon so bad I threw up. As soon as I bit into it, I think is what it's supposed to say there. That's gross. Someone doesn't know how to cook bacon, or you had like rotten bacon, or you just really don't like bacon. Either way.
Laura Ann says, crispy bacon is the way to go. 100.
Burnt bacon, I am not a fan of though. 52D said, growing up, my brother would tell me if I swallowed a watermelon seed, a watermelon will grow out of my butt. I always used to hear that from my older brother too, about if you swallow any types of seeds, it'll grow in your stomach.
Yeah. Yep. I always thought I'd grow like an apple tree inside me. I'm Beef Train says, no joking, my dad will salt all his fruits. So what?
I've heard of that.
Yeah. So what my dad does is he'll do salt, and then he'll chop off like a Thai pepper, and like chop up into slices of Thai pepper, and then mix it with the salt, and then dip the watermelon in it.
It's really good.
So yeah, it's really
Lizzie
good.
B says, I love Tabasco on popcorn. Guess it's not that weird. I put spicy seasoning on popcorn. I don't put wetness on popcorn anymore. I used to do that with butter, like just melted butter, and it would be really gross. It would like shrivel up. Facebook says, no, that says Bunny. Wow, strange seeing you guys live on Facebook. Lizzie B says, I love salt on a green apple. The compliment of salty and sweet is a taste profile that a lot of people go for. I am going to start at marbles now, and then we will rearrange the screen. It's probably going to start up on this one.
It's strange seeing you guys live on Facebook.
I just read that.
Funny. Oh, you did. Sorry.
I'll put that there. That'll work. And I'll move this here. That'll work. And I'll scooch this down a little bit. And I'll click that. And I'll move that. And that's good. And okay. And that can hide. Okay, cool. And where's marbles?
You can click out of that, right?
I can, but it's going to get covered here in a second. So, Marbers. Oh, of course there's an update. It's only going to take 2 seconds according to this. Says ready to launch, but it doesn't let me click the button. No problem. We can still just read some more stuff or talk about food, since we seem to talk about that all the time. When we first started the show, we had someone who messaged us, and they said that they really liked the show, but they didn't like how much we talked about food, because they don't like food and they don't like hearing about it. And we were just like, I don't know how to respond to this criticism aside to say, like, that's just sort of things that we do, is we eat and we share what we eat with the people who watch the show. So, like, I guess sucks. Like, we're not going to stop talking about, like, our day-to-day, but we will just try and slow down how much we talk about food. Okay, now ready to launch in approximately, it said 4 days, then it jumped down to 4 minutes, so we'll see how long this takes. I always run all of my programs before we start the show just to see if anything has an update so we don't run into this exact situation. And I ran into a bad string of luck, I think, a couple years ago, where it seemed like 2 or 3 weeks in a row, at least one program decided that they were going to put in an update from the time we started till the time we were going to use the program. And we just hit that with marbles, because fuck you, marbles. I think it's a new season or something like that. Laura Ann says, as this entire episode is basically about food. What's funny is what is talked about in the chat is almost never attached to what we're talking about during the episode, which is one of sincerely the weirdest fucking things about our show.
I like that, though. I like that the chat is, like, so different, you know? Because
it's interesting, without a doubt. Oh, I forgot to put the goal back on the screen.
Oh, hey, look at that. Oh, it's a new month, though. It's April 1st.
It's not April 1st. It's March 31st.
Oh. Whoops.
Just because Etsy rolled over doesn't mean everything else did. All right. Topic, episode suggestion, haunted food from I'm What's for Dinner.
Haunted food.
Don't know if such a thing exists, but cursed food, I could see that. Or something that they thought was like cursed and it turned out just to be poisonous. I Am Beef Trainer says, I'm What's for Dinner. You have no idea how delicious that mango Pepsi is. That sounds gross.
That sounds real gross. There's a marshmallow Pepsi or Coke or something coming out, right? Or the Peeps Pepsi.
Peeps Pepsi?
Yeah, there's a Peeps Pepsi.
God. That's the whole Jurassic Park thing. Your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
I mean, I think that's with everything. Everything in moderation.
What are you even saying?
You can have it all. You can have Peeps Pepsi, just don't drink a bunch of it.
Alexander says, wow, it's strange seeing you guys live on Facebook.
You already read that.
It's weird because it bounced back down. It's, I don't know. It's all over the place right now. It says new messages. I pop down and then it's right there again. So no worries. I want you to say serial killer I suggested made pies out of her victims. Pretty sure those were haunted pies. That's hilarious. We had someone that sent in the Muffin Man, which was a fake serial killer that was perpetrated by the internet to see who would follow it.
Lizzie B says, my friend loves mayonnaise sandwiches. Just mayo.
It's the grossest fucking
that
thing
is
I've ever
disgusting.
Heard. I think I've mentioned this before on show. And it's a little bit uncouth. So grasp your pearls quickly if you do that sort of thing. So when I was in high school, I worked at Subway. And one of the things I would tell my friends, because they would always ask, like, what does so-and-so order? They wanted to see if there was a commonality between hot chicks and what they ordered. And I used to tell them, like, all the hot chicks that come into Subway like mayo. Okay? So we were in gym class one day, and they're like, do you think that chick over there likes mayo? It's just such a weird thing to say, but I was just like...
Are they asking if she's hot?
No, they're basically asking if she likes man mayo. Because they all just assume that if they liked mayo, that must mean that correlates in some way, shape, or form. I fucking hate mayonnaise. I only put on sandwiches every now and then. That's if it has like the proper amount of meat and vegetable ratio to cancel out everything, but just the bare flavor of it. I mean,
it's in deviled eggs.
It is, but there's a lot of other things in deviled eggs, so you don't taste mayo. My point in this being that everyone was too much of a bitch to walk over and ask her, so I walked over and was like, hey, so-and-so, like, I work at Subway, and I'm really curious because I like to identify people by their sandwiches. I was like, can you describe your perfect sandwich to me? And she does, and she leaves out all the condiments. And I was like, do you like mustard or mayo? And she's like, I love mayo. I get extra mayo.
Shut up.
And an entire group of dudes started cheering. And she's just like, what are they cheering for? I was like, they like mayo too. It was just so fucking stupid. It's something only like a 16-year-old would find hilarious. But there you go. I shared it with you. Christy says, I like that the chat is different too. LOL. I mean, meat information is still good information. That's an important message in my book. Lizzie B agrees and also says fucking yuck to mayonnaise. So, all right, let me go ahead and switch over, which I can see happen nowadays. Ooh, and I have discovered a flaw in our new setup. Our camera does not show on this one. I can get that set up pretty quickly, though, so I will do that.
All right, I'm going to read.
I'm going to put this on here. I'll get our camera set up while y'all go ahead and vote for whatever track we're going to race. If you're in twitch.tv/Scaryish Podcast, type in !vote, then a space, then the number that goes with the track you would like to race.
Lizzie B says fucking yuck. So our friends have a 2-year-old, and one of his catchphrases is, what the hell fuck? And I think that is the cutest thing I've ever heard.
I want to start using it. I keep forgetting, though.
But he's, like, copyrighted, right? He's trademarked.
I mean, you have to mail him a check every time you say it.
Yeah, you have to mail him a check. I'm mailing him a $5 check after this.
I don't know if this is going to work. I'm going to give it a shot. Okay, so this is...
Hello, that's you.
Reset settings. So that is me. I'll put me down here in the corner.
This is behind the scenes, right, Mia?
It is. We're making a scene right now, y'all. So I'm going to take the Mothman is what I've called this stupid thing that's already not visible. God, so much. All right, we're going to get rid of that one.
MQI says, why is cussing blocked from me? I am old and like truck driver mouth.
That would be your settings. You just got to change it on Twitch, I think. I'm going to need to add in one more thing. Okay, that's me. Let's get the other one off of here. Camera. Okay, and we're going to add in Robin now. While these votes are pouring in, right now Shattered Dreams is in the lead. I feel like we raise Shattered Dreams at least once every single week.
We got our table confirmed for an anime convention in November. So if you guys are in Vegas in November for this anime convention.
I don't know why you have so much more ceiling above you. It's really weird.
It's because they don't like when women break the glass ceiling, so they make it higher. Get it?
Got it.
Feminism. R2DZ says, I'll be in Vegas in November. Yeah, it's the Sin City Anime Convention, so hopefully it's good. It's their first year, I think. Chrissy says, your hair's so long. It is long. I'm getting a haircut Friday, but so far I'm only getting 2 inches cut off. So it's not going to be too long, too much cut off. But I'm going to finally get my hair done purple because ASB Bunny chose it like ages ago. Because what we have goals for the month, right? Or we had stream bosses.
Correct.
So we had stream bosses. She was a stream boss for the end of one of the weeks, I think, or months. And she chose for me to get purple hair. So I'm going to finally do that.
All right, here's the deal. We're going to go ahead and go with Shattered Dreams. Shattered Dreams on average takes 1 minute and 55 seconds to do. World record is 1 minute and 31. For the Spooky Friends, though, it takes us 2 minutes and 12 seconds. We take our sweet-ass time with this one. Robin has the record at 1 minute and 39, which is only 8 seconds off the world record pace. Let's get in there, and let's take that record from Robin. Take it.
I Am Beef Trainer says, that makes me remember my nephew. He could say truck when he was little. He couldn't say truck when he was little. He always said fuck.
Sounds about right.
Firefuck.
Question specifically for Robin. Have you ever watched Gilmore Girls? That's from Carly.
I've watched episodes. My younger sister, loves Gilmore Girls.
Exclamation point play to join the race and get your marble on stream.
So I've seen a few episodes with her. I don't have my
phone?
iPad.
Don't you have the app? I have to participate in the own show. All right, going to give a 60-second countdown from right now to anyone else who would like to join. If you were at YouTube or Facebook, you'd have to switch over to twitch.tv/Scaryish Podcast. Once you're there, all you have to do is type an exclamation point play, and you will get your marble represented. If your marble wins, you will win a free Scaryish-themed sticker and maybe a coaster if Robin's in a good mood. So definitely go ahead and get your marble on stream. We are up to 20 marbles right now, which is wonderful to see. Got about 30 seconds left before we are away. I'm Western says to Robin, Firefuck, me unable to resist a pun. That sounds hot. That's hilarious.
Oh my god.
All right, stretching this window out. Okay. This is actually going to be a little bit easier for me to control, which is nice. And we can also see notifications that come through while we're doing this and the chat. So pretty good stuff.
Let's see.
It's weird that everyone fell and then stopped right at the top. All right, Luna, MQI, and Chunkster were the first 3 out. We're going to have some divergence in the paths we go, with Luna Bin leading the way and Glitch in second place.
52TC says wiener dogs are born in chicken broth, which gives them gelatinous fluids.
That's hilarious.
I think dachshunds are really cute. I've only ever seen them on the internet.
911 Girl said, this game is lame, and I quit and jumped off the side.
Oh my god.
Lunabin is still in the lead. Natty and Glitch seem to be in second and third place. It's very hard to tell with this track because there are so many different paths to take. There's going to be 3 paths that eventually converge into one a little bit further. So we'll watch as people take their respective elevators up and see who winds up in first place as they matriculate down the track.
Dang, you got a lot of notifications on your phone.
I do.
Also, I have a TikTok, if you folks didn't know. So if you want to add me on TikTok, or follow me on TikTok.
So you can see why Robin has the record is because she got smacked around by that fan blade and it gave her a speed boost.
I like a little bit of smacking around.
Little, not a lot. Kayla Ray has fallen off the side and she will no longer be able to finish the race. Robin is chasing her own record, and we hate her. Chunkster is in second place. Cursed Wolf, 52DZ, and ASB Bunny are following up right there.
My TikTok is the Robin Grace. That is my TikTok.
Wolf has fallen off along with ASB Bunny. We will see if anyone is able to beat this record of Robin's, including Robin herself. Chunkster is going to give it a shot. Robin's trying to set her own record. Chunkster got launched at the last second. And
wow.
I think Robin's going to win again. Oh my God, Natty. Natty got launched at the last second. I'm What's for Dinner takes second place and will be able to claim the prize. Killsma takes third.
52DZ says, I think I've been inside for too long. Sorry for all the meat chatter.
So funny.
It's okay, I like meat.
It's true. I'm so fucking far back there. Oh my God, look at Lasty. MQI. We'll watch MQI and actually phase on, try and make it in without getting launched off. And then we're going to check how fucking far away I am.
What's for Dinner says pass, so it goes to Killsma.
Congratulations, Killsma. Actually, Phazon's zigzagging through, is trying to cut in front of MQI.
911 Girl says, I finally got a late enough lunch break to play marbles live, only to die. That's so sad.
That's funny.
You're not going to die.
I'm running away from the blue wave of death, hoping that I can make it through in the most pathetic way. However, I'll still finish 10th, and I think I'll collect a point on the season if I do. Let's see if I get launched at the very end or what happens here. I don't know what the hell happened where I got stuck all the way back there, but I'm pretty sure this game cheats, and it's bullshit. All right, I made it in. So, congratulations to
says, all I
Killsma.
do is win, 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 no matter what.
And I did collect a point, which brings me to 1 on the season. Robin is up to 8 on the
passes,
season.
so it goes to Hailstorm. So Hailstorm.
Congratulations, Hailstorm. Type an exclamation point merch. Click that link. Then go to Robin's Kawaii Corner. Find any of the Scaryish themed stickers. Pick one that you would like for free. And then email storytime@scaryish.com. Or you can message us and just say, yo, this is the sticker I would like. Can you send it to? And then where you would like us to send it to.
Yeah, we need mailing address.
We would be happy to do that. Let's go ahead and start voting on our second race of the evening.
This very evening. TikTok, make it drop, BJ, I don't know the words.
Did you say DJ or BJ?
DJ.
I was going to say, that's a different song. All right. It's been fun tonight, y'all. It's also so much easier to set this shit up. And I'm really happy that we got so much feedback during the live topic episode where people said that they would prefer it this way. So we just said, all right, we're just going to do it this way then. It is a little weird that okay, I know I have the other scene manipulated so that everything is sort of framed a little bit better, but this way it just has so much more ceiling for both of us. Whatevs.
Oh, wait, no. Gotta make a heart. Wait. Heart.
Lower your arms. That's my heart right there. Right there. Ow. Worth it. What is that? If I do, says Adam is Gunchin.
Let's see. Hailstorm says, I get 2 stickers, one from this time and last time I won. Oh, cool. So,
nice.
Did you email us? I don't know. Because I've just mailed out everything.
Carly says, also check out Robin's Etsy for the super in demand I Want to Believe mug that I have enjoyed 2 entire adult beverages from this evening. That's hilarious.
Yay! I'm so glad you like it. And they're all legitimately made by hand. I actually posted a video of how they're made, and it does take quite a bit. But I only have 2 mugs left, so.
All right. Right now, Cosmic Chaos 2 is in the lead. We'll see how many votes there is for Cosmic Chaos 2 when it floats by next. If it's a lot, we'll go ahead and go with that one. ASB Bunny says, my parcel from you guys got opened by customs. Oh, those fuckers.
Oh, no.
Hopefully they didn't take anything.
Yeah.
Or they put more stuff in. MQI said goodnight, and then someone pointed out that we have one more race. MQI says, oh, crap, okay, I'll stay for one more. That's hilarious. Scrolling.
I wonder why they had to check it. It's like, there's just a fucking keychain in there. What's
There's
your problem?
5 in there. We're going with Cosmic Chaos. 2 minutes and 21 seconds on average. Minute 55 is the record. For us, 2 minutes and 26 seconds is the average. 2:04. Holy shit, Robin. Stop setting all the records for all these tracks. Let's go ahead and get started. God, there are so many crumbs on my desk now.
You're welcome.
Exclamation point play to get your marble on stream.
Aw, MQI says, I have to get up at 5:30 and feed bottle feed calves. That's adorable, and I want to see pictures of these baby cows.
Booyah.
AC Bunny says, they didn't take anything. I only knew it happened because the sticker over the envelope had been cut in half. lame. They suck.
You joining me?
Customs. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
All right, gonna get the countdown started. 60 seconds from right now to get your marble on stream. We have 18 already.
Ka-cha-cha-cha-cha. You can get up to 500 people in here.
Yep.
Imagine if we were so big that we could fucking get 500 people in here.
I've definitely been on streams before where as soon as they get into it, it's a race to see if you even get a spot in it. And they're not even giving away anything.
What?
It's just like they're that popular, so. MQI says they're on Discord. Shout out to Dekine004 for following us over there on Twitch. We appreciate you. If I said their name wrong, I apologize. Just let me know how I should say it.
AC Bunny says, what was the last keychain you sent? The last one I sent was Nessie. So, and that was a month ago, right?
I think so.
Beginning of this month, maybe.
So, yeah, a month ago.
Yeah.
30 days ago. 5 seconds to get your marble in. We're going to go with 21.
Dekine, it's me, Amando. Hello.
What up? Thank you for joining us.
We're still doing this.
Yep.
we're still doing this.
It's still going, bro. All right. I'm going to go ahead and watch these people circle this wonderful shiny hole.
Aw. MQI posted a picture of one of the little baby cows in the hatch of the SUV on Discord. I'll have to take a look at that.
Traveling through the hole to see who gets out of it first. Looks like it's going to be Carly, followed by Dekine, followed by Laura Ann. Actually, Laura Ann somehow made it in first place. So we're going to chase camera this. I thought this was going to be the one that...
Aw.
had the
52DZ
planets.
says, I gave my niece some of the Scaryish merch because I got a lot over the years. She was so stoked.
Aw.
That's so sweet.
She's like, what is this crap? I hate that show.
AC Bunny says, I just received Nessie yesterday. Wow, that's crazy. Australia is far away. Also, I saw that they're raising Australia's postage rates too. So now it costs so much money to ship to international countries and even the US. I'm like, what? MQI says, my child steals all of my packages from you. So
Somehow Robin came out of that funnel and jumped in front of everyone.
Lizzie B says, what am I looking at? So at the end of all our streams on Twitch, we play a game of, we play 2 rounds of marbles, and it's just an opportunity for us to send you folks some free Scaryish stuff.
It's also a nice way to sort of come down because sometimes we have very emotional stories. So people will send us stuff that's just very, very personal. So sometimes we've ended the stories on, stories of death or suicide or things like that. And it's just a nice way for us to unwind and enjoy each other's company. And like Robin said, it's a way for us to basically say, like, thanks for hanging out with us for this time. And anyone who's still around, here's a chance to win something free. Except Tiny Dancer Nation, who fell off the world. Currently, Lunabin is in first place right now. And Curse Wolf is right behind. And they are on record-setting pace. Killsma and actually Phazon both did not make it as well.
MQI says he loved the one before Nessie. I can't remember what it was.
Krampus, I think.
Krampus, yeah.
Robin took the lead at the very end. No, Lunabin won! Congratulations, Lunabin, on your victory. Robin takes second. Why are you winning so much? Cursed Wolf is third. I just fell off.
52DZ says, marbles is a way to cool down from spam and sausage talk.
Yes, exactly.
Because sometimes you don't want to have the taste of bad sausage in your mouth.
Spam and sausage
Wait,
gives
no,
me the
hold on.
vapors. All right.
Adam loves sausage in his mouth.
Sausage is good.
MQI says, I just spit my water all over my bed.
Glitch Grim says, I think we need a spam mug. Like a mug made of spam, or a mug that has a spam saying on the outside. Either way, yes.
I just love spam.
Hailstorm said, where am I? You're in a safe place. I don't know where you are.
Aw, Chrissy says, miss you guys, gotta go to bed. We miss you too, Chrissy.
Good night. Keep teaching the youth up tomorrow.
Hopefully we can see you sometime soon since we're all gonna be vaccinated.
Move to Vegas already. We miss you so much.
Let's see.
Congratulations, Luna. You know the deal.
Dekine says, spam is amazing. I know. I absolutely agree with you. I love spam. Spam musubis are my jam. Oh my gosh. When I lived in Hawaii, it was like if somebody brought, when I played soccer and basketball, if a mom brought spam musubis as your snack after your soccer game, it was like, yes. Oh, so good.
So delicious.
I'm Serena says, we need a shirt that says bagels, ducks, spam, and sausages and Scaryish.
Wow.
Oh my god.
We have that other one that says like aliens and cryptids and ghosts and
true crime, and yeah, we do have quite a few designs if you want to head over to our Teespring. All right.
Indeed. Let's switch over to the other cameras right now.
Is it gonna work the same, you think?
Yeah.
Oh,
The transitions are solid. So,
Also, look at the little sundae in the middle. So cute.
I like the sundae cup being in the middle because it's symmetrical. And I am a fan of symmetry.
F2DZ says I got the meat sweats.
That's funny. All right, I'm going to go ahead and, yeah.
You're going to go ahead and...
Going to close this marbles thing out and then mark it. And then we're going to do the outro right about now. So
all right.
Ooh, you twat. You take it. It's fine.
Thank you, everybody who's gotten to this point of the episode. Thank you for listening. We hope you folks enjoyed these amazing stories these talented writers have written. Definitely creepy, definitely scary. Hope you folks enjoyed them. I definitely enjoyed reading them because I was that kid in school who's like, I want to read out loud. You know? Were you that kid?
Sometimes I was, and sometimes I'd be embarrassed. It just depended on like the class I had. And,
okay.
But yeah,
I
liked reading.
Whenever they were like, okay, who wants to read the next page? I'd be like, me. I wanted to be the one that read.
We played Popcorn Lee. We had a friend in high school in junior year who was not very good at reading. So we would be like, hey, can we play Popcorn? We used to play that in school where you read and then you say popcorn so-and-so at any point in the sentence. You'd popcorn to someone else to make sure they're paying attention.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, and we played Popcorn Lee. So the thing was, everyone had to say Popcorn Lee. So I would read and say Popcorn Lee, and it would go to Lee. And then he would read and popcorn it to someone else, and they'd popcorn it back to Lee. And by the end of class, he was so fucking good at reading everything. It was awesome. And our teachers were like, I can't believe you did that to him. That's so mean. I was like, have you heard how he reads now? He's a fucking genius. You're welcome. We did your fucking job for you. Anyways.
Yeah, so I hope you folks enjoyed our reading because maybe I'll get good at reading if I do this enough.
You are way better than me this episode. I had so many mistakes this episode. You crushed it.
Yeah, so thank you, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you folks want to support the show, how can people do that?
So if you want to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/Scaryish Podcasts. I almost did it right. /Scaryish Podcast. Those are one-time donations. Son of a bitch. Marking it. Those are monthly donations. They come out when you sign up, and then at the beginning of every month thereon. There are different tiers you can sign up for. The lowest tier is a $1, and you get early I don't do this one. Why'd you do this to me? Why'd you popcorn me?
You're stupid.
Stop laughing. You get ad-free episodes at a $1. At the $3 level, we have a Choose Your Own Adventure tier where you can pick topics for us, like the live episode we did on Sunday, which was very fun, and thank you to all our patrons for that. And tiers after that gradually increase all the things that you get, including a merchandise tier, which Robin sends out a bunch of wonderfully handmade and hand-curated content. So check that out at patreon.com/Scaryish Podcast. If you're not a fan of monthly donations and just want to say, hey, I just want to give you some, and then, not again, or you just want to do the monthly thing, you can go to ko-fi.com/Scaryish Podcast, do donations that way. All the donations we get go to upgrading our studio setup. We're able to make the production better. We are able to find ways we can finance new things that we basically turn into Scaryish merchandise. We put all of it back into the show. And the way that we have been able to increase the production level of the show and get more merch and get all these other things is because we reinvest the wonderful money that you folks have invested into us, and we sincerely appreciate it. They are always welcome. They're always appreciated. So I think that's the best way I can do that since Robin decided to let me do that this time.
Yeah,
so good stuff.
Thank you. Good job.
Thanks. It was horrible.
If you folks have creepypastas or like fictional horror stories that you've written, please email us at storytime@scaryish.com. Let us know that it is one of the fictional stories. If you have an actual encounter, personal, or a family member has a supernatural, paranormal, true crime encounter, feel free to share it at storytime@scaryish.com as well. We also have different... what are those things called? Social medias. So Facebook, Twitter.
We shouldn't trade ever again.
So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that fun stuff.
Facebook is facebook.com/Scaryish Podcast. Twitter is @ScarishPod, and Instagram is @Scaryish Podcast. Okay, good stuff. Good episode. Thank you so much, Robin. Thank you so much, everyone who listened. Thank you so much, everyone who watched. We sincerely appreciate all of you. We love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Robin, go ahead and do that thing you do and sign us out.
I love that movie. Keep on creeping on, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye-bye.